All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Salty Saturday. My name's Dr. Fish. My apologies for a little bit of mic issues on my end. I did not get it set up beforehand. But I will be one of your casters for this evening, and welcome to Salty Saturday. Alongside me is going to be German Shep. Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, Fish. Excited to get started. We have some incredible players joining us today. And yeah, can't wait to learn something.
Awesome. For sure, yeah, we have some incredible players here. In Molstar playing for Swagoi, and Glee playing for F2L in our Pro Series. So the players, we'll get them started in a few minutes. So, but this is our open deck list format. There are bans in. It's double druid ban, so ignore the screen. I'll have that fixed later. Surprise, surprise! It's double druid. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put the lineups up on the screen. So if you have those pulled up, you can. Why don't you go ahead and go through them, starting with Molstar?
Yeah, for sure. Molstar, his first deck is the Control Paladin, followed by a Control Warrior, which is not charge. It's Kaz. Kaz with non-dragon minions, which is a list that's going around on high ranks right now. Then he has the Quest Hunter. Got the Drexar, got the hero card in there. And then closed it out with a Ramp Druid that got banned. So it looks like a very control-y lineup, which is sort of what Molstar is really known for. He definitely likes his control decks. And yeah, what are your thoughts on?
Yeah, You know, I actually wasn't super aware about the rising popularity of Control Kaz Warrior. Um, I think particularly, I think Molstar's lineup definitely covers a lot of bases. Um, I wish I had done a little bit more research as to how it matches up into specifically Glee's lineup. And
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah,
I think that this is kind of a very well feels like a well-rounded lineup. It has a bit of everything that you need. It has good matchups into quite a lot of some of the popular decks that have been going around. Um, so for
right.
Glee, yeah, Glee's first deck is not, at least on this graphic, is Naga Mage, which is more of a combo deck. We've got his own Ramp Druid, which has been banned away. We have Burn Shaman and a Control Paladin as well from Glee.
Yeah, and like in the way Molster and Glee's decks line up, I think Molster is gonna be pretty heavily favored.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like these control decks really like to prey on sort of Glee's tempo style decks.
Mm-hmm.
With the Naga Mage and the Burn Shaman.
Mm-hmm.
Like those are decks that like fight for board heavily, and then Molster decks are the ones that answer board heavily.
Gotcha.
Um, I will say that like when you go on HSV play for most of the lineup, if you like ban Druid and then you filter the decks for win rate, like most of those decks are like 60% win rate or something absurd. So like these decks definitely like cover a lot of bases other than Druid. Right now there's like very few ways to counter control. That's like actually one of the things that I'm exploring going to Masters Tour, whether control is counterable. Um, but yeah, speaking more towards Glee's decks, uh, he bought like very like skill intensive decks, I guess, like Naga Mage being like you have to do a ton of things per turn, and it's very difficult uh, to optimize those sort of turns. You really have to like have had a lot of practice. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see what he can do on that. And then Burnsham's another deck that's like very difficult to play. Um, in knowing how much board to go for, when to set back your when to like hold resources to do a more OTK approach, or knowing how much you can stick, knowing how much you need to push from board.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. So I'm gonna go ahead. The players are ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and give them the ready to go ahead. Um, and so for those who will be watching on stream, first to spectate is going to be Glee, and Molstar will be on the top of our screen. And for you, Shep, you can spectate however you would like.
nice.
Yes.
Yeah, awesome.
All right.
Um, thinking about what to queue first. I'm. How do you feel about like queue order? Because like there's a lot of people on the boat that like says that queue order doesn't matter at all, but a lot that like says it does if you like.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I hear it so much from everybody, and I'm still kind of undecided. I think in
Right.
some capacity, if you're in Conquest and you have a deck that has a very good spread, I think leading that isn't banned. That if you can lead that deck and come out, I think like to some extent leading with a strong deck is good. Because I think I think lead decks in Conquest are a bit different than leading in Hero series. So
Yeah.
so yeah,
Right. Yeah, that's for sure. Another aspect to think about, like especially in THL, which is like a points based system, like every win matters. So
yeah,
I'm guessing that these players would want to have the highest percent chance to win with their good decks that are like more able to get wins. And if that's the case, I probably think that we're gonna see Glee lead with
yeah,
the control paladin,
yeah,
um, and then more with like the control warrior would
yeah,
be my guess. But
for sure.
yeah. Oh, it looks like they are starting it up.
Yeah. And Glee led with the Naga Mage and Molstar with his Nagamage. Yeah, Glee on the Nagamage, Molstar on the Control Pally.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So in this matchup, it's very favored for the Paladin because Mage typically goes in on like a couple big boards, but then the Paladin can just sweep it up with one Swift Equality, and
Yeah.
then after Mage's pop-off turns, it can be very difficult to like keep the draw going. Like you think that you have like Ignite, so you have like infinite pressure on these control decks, but actually like it's the Ignite does damage over several turns. It's not really an OTK. And so like Paladin can like heal over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly an interesting one either way. Already a decision of whether Glee wants to prioritize tempo over value and just play down the spell coiler.
Yeah.
Looks like he's gonna hold. Definitely shaping up to be a bit of an awkward hand for Glee. He can't really activate his Enforcer spell curler very well, especially if Mosa doesn't play a minion here. So he might just be passing until turn 4. Okay, opts to let loose on the Flurry, which is an interesting decision as well, because Flurry is a big way to get mana on your Siren turns. But I think I do favor it, just because you want to keep the tempo moving, and you want to get your draw off the Enforcer.
Mm-hmm.
So for Molstar, looks like he's gonna coin the Carriel, try to get a hold of this board. His hand is looking like it's gonna be like 1 or 2 clears, and then it might gas out. He's definitely looking for that hero card sometime in the near future, but should be good with the coin 4 into 4 curve.
Who here can spell Zinjari? Anybody?
Interesting pick from Glee. He takes the Siphon mana over the Ignite. Against control, you really want to like have 2 Ignites. He has the multicast for this especially,
Mm-hmm.
which
Yeah.
would mean that you want the another Ignite. Because like your draw isn't really draw 1, it's more like draw 2 or draw 3, so you can like cycle multiple Ignites at a time in the late game. But like if you play Ignite in the early game, then it like really diminishes your average draw. So I can understand him choosing the Siphon instead. He's probably gonna hope to like get the second copy of Ignite with one of his many other discoveries.
Yep. Never see Okani come down from the Paladin. He's going to pick. I didn't see which one he picked. Did you get to let's scroll over? It says Minion.
Yeah, I think it's Minion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be. He's gonna pick Minion here against Glee. So if Glee wants to play this spiteful, he's not gonna be allowed.
Yeah.
Also, he's gonna test it with the Zola.
Yeah.
And play Spell
Glee's gonna
Coiler.
really want some card draw off this Spell
Yeah.
Coiler because his hand's looking very gassed out already.
Yeah. I guess
it's probably an instant Wind Orb.
Yeah, Ruined Orb is probably your best bet here for sure.
Also, I want to talk about like how Molstar curved his hand out with like the coin Carriel into Akani. He played his Akani into Glee's expected Siren pop-off turn, and so this sort of like bought Molstar an extra turn if Glee had the ideal hand, which is a really nice play.
I agree. No, definitely. I really like I really like how Molstar navigated that for sure. Gonna play the Battle Vicar here and pick from Righteous Defense, Blessed Goods, and Conviction. I'd expect. Uh, it's interesting. You could take the cheap
Yeah.
spell. Righteous Defense. I don't really think there's that many minions that you're gonna really want to scythe. You're gonna want to use it on here. So he ends up picking the Blessed Goods.
Yeah.
Maybe can find a decent enough secret, or maybe he just wants to find a divine shielded minion. Not 100% sure. Meanwhile, Glee's
Yeah,
now
I
gonna
think you
go for his pop off.
right. And like with the Blessed Goods pick, that's like a card that like rarely ever gets picked. Um, but I think he wanted it primarily for another cheap spell for Pyromancer, which is
Agreed.
a good point.
Yeah.
This discovery is not what Glee was looking for. His hand is looking very gassed out already,
It is.
and Monster might just need to clear his void once and then be free.
Yeah, there's no way to trigger this siphon mana to make things cost. No, there is. So that gets triggered, which means now he can play the Oasis ally, but now he cannot play the other
Yeah, there was a play where he ignited, and then he goes up to 4 mana, and then he
Mhm.
can get the Siren down, and
Yeah.
then the Oasis ally. It would
Yeah.
have it would have let him clear the Akani and get an extra Siren down. I think I still prefer the way he went about it though, because he potentially has another pop-up turn waiting if he can just hit some card draws in the near future. Because like you definitely don't want to commit your double Siren, especially against a deck that tends to clear your whole board in one go.
Definitely. So Molsar's gonna pick the Righteous Defender off of the Blessed Goods. So he ended up not using it for a Pyromancer. Here we're gonna test, and it is Oasis ally. So now a 3/6 Water Ellie is on the board.
Right. Looks like Mosa is debating whether or not he even wants to clear.
Yeah, I think he might just defense. He might just want to get rid of the Naga. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna end up doing a line that involves removing the Spitelash Naga.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big one. That's a 1 mana 3/3 taunt. and
Oh
and
yeah.
there's draw, and there is draw. Or
Oh, more draw.
Glee.
Okay.
More draw and Gift of Ajara. We've got Amalgam of the Deep. We've got Ignite. It's a decent chunk of of things for next turn.
Right. And I think I want to just see a full hold here. I guess you can commit the ignite to make your trades a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could commit the Ignite. I'm not so sure I would like to see that happen. But, we're going to end up seeing it. We're going to remove the 3/6 and going to ship 4 more damage to face. Now the ball is back over to Molsar. No Lightforged Cariel in hand, but Immortalized in Stone picked up. That'll be slammed down here for the Paladin. Gonna remove the spell damage.
Oh, more card draw. Okay. This turn has to be big from Glee.
Yeah.
And by big, I don't just mean make a big board. I mean get a ton of value in hand as well.
Yeah.
I think you need the spell coiler just to keep the chain moving.
Yeah.
The queen was a bit too expensive. Okay, picks up some nice draws, nice cheap draws.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Finds Command of Savara, but more stuff needs to get played for Savara to be active. Does
right,
find
once he snap freeze, he can get the multicaster down with 2 mana left after he plays Flurry.
Yeah. Yep, Savara still has 3 ticks left. Gonna play the Flurry. Like you said, probably gonna go with the multi-caster.
Right.
He can now snap freeze the 4/8 if he wants to remove it. Or
Yeah.
he can use the Ignite if he also... I don't necessarily like using the Ignite. Oh wow, continuing the chain actually in that regards.
I don't think this was actually necessary. It didn't really, like, we just wasted the water elemental, it seemed like. We could just snap freeze the 4-8 and then we would still have enough tempo on board.
Yeah, I also think that you are right in that regards.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, potentially he could have got the spell coiler down, but I don't think there's actually mana for that. But yeah, I think he sort of just wasted the 3-3. But
Yeah.
either way,
Yeah. Mole's gonna go
Melissa
up.
is gonna be prioritizing clearing this, I think. Is he not
Probably.
committing a oh, he's healing himself first and then committing the pyro to do 5 AoE, that's fine. Or is he not? Okay, he's gonna trade the 2-4 into the 2-5 and do a 4 AoE. Cool. Just really want to clear this board.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely need to get rid of this board and full.
Okay, make the trade. Nice, okay.
Yeah.
Slightly worried, but almost started under control.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and now, like, you see the problem with Naga Mage. It just sort of, like,
It doesn't
goes all in on one board.
Yeah, it doesn't really have much of anything else.
Right. So now Glee's game plan is gonna be try to cycle as many ignites as possible. And he does have the multicaster list, which does accelerate that game plan. The other list goes much more all in on tempo.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know about going for Savara here, but I guess the Pyromancer is not too big of a threat that we have to really worry about throwing
Right.
something like a Ping or a Ruined Orb at it. I thought maybe before we played the gifts that we would play Refreshing Springwater, but I guess Springwater has a lot of minion hits, so he doesn't want to lose that much mana. It's not guaranteed.
I think he's saving this. Right.
He'll save that for ignites.
Yeah. And it's a good optimization to play the gift as the last spell for Savara to make sure that's in the pool. And he picks the draw mech option. He just wants to turbo through his deck at this point. Because like there are worlds where like Molstar can't set up his own sort of OTK or can't get enough stats. Like typically at this point in the game, Paladins really trying to like get their hand buffs moving along. Not even just smite, just like stick any sort of minions, and then like the mage would like run out of flurries and whatnot.
Gotcha.
But that game plan relies heavily on Cariel first and foremost.
Yeah, and there hasn't been any Lightforged Cariel. Immortalized in Stone is gonna be played here, which is gonna stall out the damage from this mage going from minions. First Claw Enforcer is gonna come out and draw a School Teacher.
Oh, another School Teacher.
Yeah, we're really leaning into the Nagalings here.
Yeah.
Savara is ready, so we'll likely see Savara.
Interesting that even though Librum's rotated, which is like a book theme, we got School Teachers. Like I just don't want to go to school. Don't make me go to school game.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Alright, so we're gonna have Flurry Snap Freeze to remove the 4-8 here.
Yeah, he's thinking about whether he wants to commit it yet. Because, like, he might want to save it for some bigger minions.
Agreed.
But he decides to commit it. I guess that's reasonable.
There's a quality.
If he just wants to dump hand space and keep the draw moving.
Yeah. Bannerman Blade and picks up a Sunfish. Now we've got a 4/7 Sunfish coming down and potentially a second one that's going to be a 3/6. So that's a lot of stats on the board.
Yes, but also like this is like very manageable statage.
Yeah, it is.
And like most of his hand is looking very gassed out without the carry-out. Like there's a lot of top decks, like Equality and whatnot, where he's just like completely waiting, and that could potentially be the time that Glee needs to get his ignites up to big damage.
Not this Nogling knows Gifts of Ishara, so it will draw a card. So soon we're gonna get to the point where it's just gonna be ignites in the deck potentially.
Yeah.
The last
So
card.
he's gonna prioritize clearing.
Yeah, last card I think might be another multicaster if this deck runs.
Yeah, I believe that's true.
Yeah. So we're gonna prioritize,
which is very huge.
Gonna prioritize removing only some of the minions. But you're gonna remove as many as can be removed. And next turn, we're gonna see probably both ignites used, face, and just start pushing damage as best as this mage can, which is pretty well considering the fact that it has a refreshing spring water.
Yeah. And with the 2 ignites, he can go like ignite, refreshing, and always keep an ignite in deck. And then he can just fully maximize his draw. So like he can ramp this pressure up very fast. If Molstar can't pick up a carry-all in the near future, he's gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah, and he doesn't really have a way to draw here.
Right.
So he's going to be able to remove board here with Vitality Surge, but Vitality Surge notably cannot draw carry-all, it can just thin the deck. And there's no more... Well, there's no more spells, but he also wouldn't want to play a spell.
Oh, Flash of Light.
Flash of Light is solid. There's the multicaster. It's just... A lot of this is going to depend on how Glee wants to how he wants to deal damage. If he wants to prioritize removing this board, which I think would be good. You don't really want to let this damage fester because it's still 10 damage on board. But even just removing the one Pyromancer cuts the damage in half. So
yeah, and like with Ignite, the cool thing about it is that like you can spend like much of the early stages on removing the board. Looks like he's gonna go face already.
Multicaster. He's gonna draw some fatigue. He's gonna draw, I think, maybe 1 fatigue damage here. Next,
I really don't think I like this line.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not a fan of it either.
More damage.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was gonna say, like with Ignite, you can spend the early stages on removing the board, and then like when the later stages come up, it's like much easier to just send it face because you can set up the clock that way. With this line, like he's like not playing around like damage out, and he's also not playing around healing out. Because like if Mosa like goes all face and then like heals a little bit, like Smite's looking much more reasonable to be lethal in the near future.
Smite is already 7 damage off lethal here. Gonna see Flash of Light come down and heal and draw, and this is gonna look... And we're just gonna see Smite committed here, which is gonna maybe committed. He hasn't played it yet. He's considering Smite. Here we go. Smite down. And he's making his push, but these ignites will just be able to clear the Smite.
Yeah.
There's second flame, Runed Orb, any type of draw. It's just now Glee has to commit a turn to remove board instead of essentially...
Is this lethal?
Is he just...
It's
8, it could be lethal.
10, 18.
Runed Orb can go fade.
I don't think it is. He needs to clear. It's not lethal. Okay, he's ramping up the damage and then it'll be easier to clear because he has a 6 damage ignite.
Yeah. Yeah, 6 damage ignite should clear the Smite. Runed Orb can clear the Pyro, and you're only down to 2 mana.
Okay, that's a good spot.
Yeah, Second Flame can remove that, and a Ping can even remove the 1/1 if you want to do that much damage control.
I want to rewind to Molstar's turn
Yeah.
because he did commit the smite for 7 damage, but I really don't think that's enough right now.
Yeah.
Because like I think I would have liked to see like him trade the city tax and look for Carriel.
Mhm.
Because now like the only way he can deal damage is with
You
Carriel
should
and
play
weapon
the.
swings.
I think holding the second flame is fine. There's no, because now with smite gone, there's no reason. There's no reasonable lethal. That's
Right.
pretty seeable without Carriel coming in potentially, and like, but even then, Carriel's really hiding in the deck. There's 6 cards left. Molstar's deck, he has not drawn his hero card, and I don't even know if there's any minions left. But he apparently there is, and it's Queen Ajara, which, oh boy, I don't even know if she's going to be activatable this game. So maybe you just commit Ajara down now for a body.
Yeah, I think it's just a 5/5 here.
Yeah.
But that's really not doing enough to pressure Glee.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Control Paladin is built around one card, the game plan is to draw that card. So, Monster should take note of that next time.
Draw the card.
Just draw it.
Just draw it, Smile. Oh, that's so bad. Cool. Alright.
Okay, is this lethal? So 7 plus 8 plus 5 is 2 off.
7, 8, 15 plus. Yeah, it's close. We're gonna get a school teacher here that's gonna teach.
Arcane Intellect is
This can
huge.
teach AI. 1 mana. Draw 2 is good.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
he's going for
Wildfire.
Interesting. I think I would have taken Arcane Intellect personally. I can understand the reasoning behind Wildfire, because maybe you think having that 2 mana hero power can help make clears a bit easier, but I mean, you already have 1 mana deal 2 with second flame in hand. At least the hero power is repeatable on turn after turn. But Glee's gonna have to get moving fast here. Yeah, he's gonna commit this. He has committed 7 mana into that, and he's gonna hero power with, and then cast the Wildfire. Oh, Wildfire first, and then gets it off. My client lags behind, of course, but he does get the ping off for 2 damage.
I mean, I really don't think I like this line. Because now he's just dead over 2 with Carriel, and I don't think he's doing enough damage now.
Yeah.
Like, he could have pinged a 1/1, and so he had an extra turn on the clock against Carriel.
Yeah, I can see that.
But he's taking 6 this turn and then 2 next turn, which means he has to kill him this turn. And the Arcane Intellect, like, Wildfire really doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And Arcane Intellect bumps the damage on the Ignites. I don't know.
And yeah,
Like,
there's
I think this is very questionable.
Yeah,
at the
there's the
FMP.
concede. Yeah, he doesn't. He also doesn't. He also ended up not seeing a way to win the game.
Yeah. I mean, like, in this series, like, Glee was already, like, at a very bad spot in the beginning, being unfavored into most of his control lineup, so that's potentially a huge loss, because that would have been one of his really unfavorable decks through, which would have given him a much better chance at winning the series. But, yeah. I'm not sure if, like, that was pretty much the best possible pan out for Glee, with Carriel beating like bottom 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he just couldn't. Like, it seemed like that last turn that he kind of put himself under pressure with the rope, where he waited until the last possible second to even decide what his last card was going to be played. And sometimes that can work out if you've meticulously planned your turn out, but it seemed like he took so long to decide what deck he wanted to what card he wanted to pick for his Nagaling. But yeah, now we go into game 2, which is going to be Molstar's Control Warrior into Glee's Naga Mage.
Yeah, and this is a pretty similar story as the Paladin. You know, like Control Warrior can deal with Naga Mages, big pop off turns with pretty much one card in the form of Ball or Shield Shatter.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty difficult for Glee. I guess like with Monster having the Kazakhstan variation instead of the charge variation, it should give Glee a little bit more time to cycle those ignites. And like given he has the multicaster package, like we saw how close he got in the
Yeah.
last game.
For
So
sure.
it's definitely gonna be a close one.
Yep. And the Ignite cycle starts on turn 2.
Yeah, I think that's primarily to activate his Enforcer, because you generally don't want to be playing that early because it
Yeah.
diminishes your average draw.
For
In
sure.
this case, playing a C4 on 3 that draws a card is probably worth it.
No, I agree. You're definitely definitely good reason for it. And we're gonna see Coin Outriders Axe trade the minion and face in to draw a card. The Arcane Intellect comes down here for Glee, drawing Ruined Orb and School Teacher. School Teacher is really good in conjunction with the Spiteful Nog.
Right, School Teacher's a big
Spite
pickup
Lash
because
Siren.
this hand from Glee does not have many cheap Nagas, but you only need like a couple, and then you can get enough mana to play your expensive Nagas as well. I want to see Woundorb just to keep the value rolling.
I agree.
Against Charge Warrior, you might want to pick Ice Barrier, but I don't think it has much utility against Control.
Oh. And the thing to note is that he knows that it is Control Warrior, so he can go for that line because it's
Right.
because of open deck list. Right, just getting that raw value out of the Outriders. Axe also playing a Crush Claw of Molstar's own. I've
Okay,
seen
big pop-off turn from Glee.
Yeah, I've seen this Naga package Kazakhstan deck before, but I think it was slightly different. I think I was watching fellow one of Molstar's teammates from Swagoi Edelweiss playing a similar deck on stream. So here's the another ignite added to the pool.
Okay, Gift is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just trying to keep drawing and keep playing those cheap Nagas. He has another. This is actually a lot of damage with the double spell damage on board. He takes the Amulet, which could have a lot of utility late game. Important to play a spell here. I know, like, it can be kind of an easy mistake to play another Naga after the Nagaling because it has like the spell show up second. Glee's gonna want to not overdraw. Okay.
Yep.
Looks like he got everything off. He could have played another one drop Naga before, and probably would have been able to play an Arcane Intellect, I believe, after that to spend more mana.
Yeah.
Slight misoptimization, but he's probably saving it for the next Siren turn, which is definitely valid. And so he can just go Siren pop off after Siren pop off, and he already got Monster very low after the first Siren pop off, so he might be close to killing him here.
Yeah. To note, there won't be the extra spell damage that this one had, but the spell damage for that one was just really good. Essentially, not kind of necessarily kind of just stands on its own here. We're gonna go for Gifts of Ajara.
Yeah, so I think honestly, this turn was supposed to start with like some ignites because you want to draw them as soon as possible and try to kill them as soon as possible.
Yeah, for sure.
But he goes with the draw first. Okay. Now he's just gonna cycle. It's very difficult to optimize these turns. I'll preface. It's like as long as you like finish the turn and you like are playing Naga and spells in rotation, like you can't really ask for much more. He's playing the Savara now.
There's two
He's playing the one
Savaras.
that has 2 ignites, notably, which is a good call.
Yeah.
I mean, does Mosa even have another way to clear this? Oh, he has Buckler's Shield Shatter. Honestly, he probably should have ripped that last turn just because of like it. I feel like he was close to dead here. Like he was very close to dead. Like in another situation, he could have been. Wait, he missed lethal.
Huh?
Glee missed lethal.
Oh, he did. Oh, was that a
Yeah.
3-mana? Oh no, it's a 3-mana. It's 3 damage ignite in hand. Oh, I bet that. I mean, I'm sure that was I'm sure that was something to do with the rope. Honestly.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But the
Again, it's like
Savara,
super
but the
difficult to get
Savara
those
is
turns.
the
100%.
Savara is still active, so we'll still be able to see ignite come into hand. The
Yeah.
only thing is he might
Now it's gonna be. Yeah, go ahead.
just gonna be an ignite race, like an ignite race to see if armor versus ignite. Almost it feels like, correct.
Right. And notably, having used Double Siren, the damage is gonna be much slower from now on.
Mhm.
So from here, it's like very possible that Mo can out armor. His hand isn't the best, but there are some armor cards in there. But I mean, like, given that he Glee missed lethal that turn, I think we have to go back to Molstar choosing to play the Brawl over the Buckler Shadow combo, because that would have been an extra 10 health and he would have been
Yeah.
much safer.
Yeah.
And then he could have played the ball after the next one, presumably.
Yeah. So he's just gonna set up to 5 to let the armor wear off here. And this will very likely have to force out either both shield block and heavy plate, or at least one of them this next turn. And we're going to see the flurry come into to make sure the minion can't attack.
Yeah, and Glee has 10 damage in hand currently, so we know that if Molstar just goes with like the shield block and like the skull t-shirt, then he will be dead.
Yes. But we did see double shield block. Now we saw the second shield block picked up, so I'd be very surprised if we didn't double draw here. Could even opt to trade the heavy plate potentially, but we're just going to play it. Yeah.
Right.
We're going to go up to 15.
Yeah, and this should be safe for now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Mole is very far from winning the game, and Glee was fast enough that he can, like, have some very big damage ignites in the very near future. And, like, I want to, like, talk about, like, Charge versus Kaz Warrior some more, because, like, at this point in the game, if this was a Charge Warrior, Glee would be scared of dying right now. But as it stands, like, Glee is under absolute zero pressure until Mole plays Kaz and then, like, draws a bunch of cards after the Kaz.
Yeah.
Which gives Glee so much more time to cycle ignites.
Definitely. He's got to decide. He's gonna go for Spell Coiler. It looks like he just has to decide what he wants to do here.
Yeah, I want to see the refreshing. Yeah.
He'll cycle the second flame to not overdraw. This Drake Fire is gonna be nice because he can always because with the ignites he can always just cycle it back into deck and have it to essentially be able to grab an ignite on command. There's still 8 cards left in deck, so it's not going to be constant ignites. But I believe that a lot of this deck is actually ignite. It's so difficult to figure out how many ignites have been put in. I know that 2 came from one Savara and then 1 came from another Savara.
Actually, yeah.
So I think
My
he has.
tag
I
is
think
showing me that there's 3 extra ignites in deck.
Yeah. So there's 5 ignites that are cycling, I think, or maybe only 4.
Actually, there might be like 6.
There might be 6.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
There's
don't know.
a lot of ignites.
Yeah, but he doesn't pull. He does not get one here, notably. So
Yeah,
probably
so
gonna
he's
have
gonna
to
want to like
cycle something.
Yeah, and I think like this amulet is probably like has much more utility as a tradable. I don't think he's actually gonna spend 10 mana on it at this point. He just wants to spend all his mana cycling ignite.
Yeah, for sure.
And he does make the optimization of playing the 3 damage ignite over the 2 damage ignite, because you want like your higher damage ignites in deck.
Yeah. We're gonna see a first flame, second flame cycle here, very likely.
Yeah, probably a school teacher to end on.
Yeah, for sure.
Or maybe he's just gonna gift and then ignite. Okay.
Alright, let's see what gets drawn. 4 damage
Double
ignite.
ignite.
4 damage ignite is played and put into face. Mole no longer has armor cards in hand. No, he has 1 shield block in hand at this point, so he'll gain another 7 armor here.
Yeah, but it just feels like it's all like too
It's,
late for
there's
Mole.
no
Like he's just gaining armor.
there's just not enough inevitability where eventually the ignites will be big enough, and there's a lot of them.
Right. Like Mole has to like either gain armor on his turns or play Kaz. Kaz being the thing that progresses his win con.
Yes.
But like if he doesn't gain armor then he's just straight up dead most of the time.
Mhm.
So he has to like gain enough armor on 1 turn to be safe for 2 turns.
Yeah.
And I just don't think he can do that at this point.
Yeah.
The ignites are coming in for too much damage and
Spring Water, I think he knows the rest of his deck is just ignite to just do that.
yeah, I think there's 1 more Arcane Intellect in there.
Oh yeah,
and
there
2
is one more AI.
ignites.
There is one more AI.
So there's 6 total ignites.
So many. Like, some of them are gonna be under damaged, but eventually, like, there's just gonna be enough of the ones that deal, like, there's gonna be enough of the ignites that deal like up to 7-8 damage. Like, it's gonna be a lot. Flurry, like, gonna opt for the wildfire. I guess it's optimal to do with like.
I mean, I really don't like Wildfire. I feel like these prioritizing Wildfire, but they really shouldn't be.
Yeah,
like,
I feel
Wildfire
like
does
Flurry.
not do
I felt like
anything
Flurry.
compared to Ignite.
I felt like Flurry was good there.
Yeah, me too.
Like, you can freeze the board and you can just tell your opponent you have to deal with, like, essentially what I'm doing. Like, he's
Even if
hero
it's in the
powering when
ping.
he's igniting. He has a 4-mana ignite in hand. Like,
I mean,
so I don't think it's gonna maybe matter all that much. Mutinous is gonna
Right.
come in and it'll eat, one of the minions. Eats the school teacher.
okay, and I don't think Mole will be able to get enough armor.
Yeah.
I guess, like, from Glee's perspective, he knew that all the armor cards were gone, so he might have been trying up to set up a guaranteed 2-turn, but he didn't really do that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's trying to play around Mutinous better by, like, saying if he eats the multicaster, then I have this ping
Yeah.
that might deal more damage over turns if I can't draw.
I guess, but he has draw, so I don't know. I'm curious how he wants to I'm curious how this is gonna get navigated. Is the thing, because
Is this lethal? 6+6+5, 12-17? It looks like it.
yeah, that's lethal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Nagamate gets the win over the Kaz Warrior.
Right. And there was a miss lethal in there by Glee, but I do like how he composed himself to think about the long term. He knew that he had the inevitability on his side.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that like sort of comes down to this Charge Warrior versus Control Warrior difference. Like, I think Control Warrior currently has its like merits into it's more favored into aggro because it has more of a removal package. And it was being played at like high ranks. I think someone hit rank 1 legend with it on some server. But yeah, I just don't really see like it as being better than Charge Warrior, so I'm curious to see why Molestar opted to go with this list Charge Warrior. But yeah, in that game, like, who's to say, maybe a Charge Warrior would have not given Glee the time he needed to cycle Ignites, but as it stood, Glee kept his composure and he got the win, which was a much needed win for one of his unfavored decks.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Both players considered what deck they were going to bring, and they have now queued in again, so we'll swap over. And
Right, we have the Shaman against the Quest Hunter.
With that, we have a tied series.
Yep.
Means no sweep. But both players have managed to play 2 games in 40 minutes. So,
Yeah.
maybe we'll get Molsar's lineup will definitely lend towards it. This seems like it's going to be a bit of a faster matchup. Burn
Right.
Shaman versus Quest Hunter. Generally heavy favor for the Hunter. Burn Shaman now does have the Brucon, but doesn't really have the way to cheat it like it did before.
Yeah.
So
And this matchup's so favored for the Hunter because Hunter preys on decks that sort of deal or have to put minions down and can only really put like a couple of minions down per turn at max.
yeah.
Like where Quest Runner struggles is decks that like go super wide all at once. And Glee can like there's certain Shaman hands that support that, but it would have to be like an early Wildfire Caverns into like School Teacher that like buffs or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, typically the Shaman doesn't have enough time to set up their OTK, and the Quest Hunter can kill the Shaman by around like turn 8, turn 9 after playing the Quest for around turn 6 or 7. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So here, Mosa already has a decision whether to like commit double one or Dragonbane. I think in this matchup you wanna definitely you can't dump Dragonbane, and you also wanna like save as many removal spells as possible for actually dealing with minions.
Yeah.
So I sort of just want to see hero power, and that looks like what Mosa is going for.
Yeah, I like the hero power as well. Alright, the early committed Bolner. So now
Yeah.
Molstar will be able to deal with that with a Wound Prey and a Dragonbane shot.
Right, that'll be because he saved his win for last turn.
Yes.
But yeah, I like the decision from Glee to go for Bolnor over Sleepbreaker this early, because Sleepbreaker like always dies, whereas Bolnor like sometimes lives because it has the
Agreed.
4 health.
Yeah,
But unfortunately,
for sure, I definitely like the fact that he went for the Bolner, because it, like you said, it needs like there's kind of very specific things that kill it versus, well, Sleepbreaker just dies to a Dragonbane shot, like, or dies to pretty much any one specific spell. Meanwhile, say Molstar bricked the rest of his hand outside of Dragonbane shot, well, he'd be in a bad position with Bolner, because that would be a lot of draw for Glee. So yeah, decisions with this tracking ends up picking the quick shot. I believe there was also explosive trap, and there was one other spell was
piercing
available
shot.
in piercing shot. The quick shot definitely a good play there. I don't think the Shaman's gonna get much chance to attack face.
Right.
Yeah, School Teacher. We've got Maelstrom Portal, Geyser, and in schooling, I think I like Geyser as the pick here because you wanna be able to. I think just like even just knowing what's on the top of your deck is a very good thing, and I mean Hunter's not playing minions.
Yeah, I think I'm like sort of leaning towards Maelstrom Porter, because like the one way I did win this matchup was by making a wide enough board that the Hunter can't remove, and then like that's
Okay.
where I got all my chip damage in.
Oh, okay.
So I think like in the early game is where Shaman really has to turn up as much pressure as possible, and going as wide as possible, because they just can't keep up in the late game.
Yeah.
But Glee not having Wildfire Caverns yet is gonna make that plan very difficult. So
Yep.
Mosa can complete his quest here, I believe, yeah, with Dragonbane shot and quick shot, I presume.
Yeah, and then he'll be able to have Tavish in hand, no threat of mutant. I don't believe this deck runs mutants, and even if it did, there's no threat of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's gonna get a turn 6 hero power. If he wants to commit this quick shot or Dragonbane shot face. I think it's definitely good to get this out now and just even be able to play it next turn. A 7/7 will require an answer from Shaman. So, yep. I would expect to maybe see some minions play this next turn, expecting expecting the Tavish.
Right.
So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe one or both Sleep Breakers come down, maybe with the Noggling as well. But to get 4 minions out on board.
Yeah, I mean, in theory, that would be like Shaman's. Like this turn would be like Shaman's best chance, like stick
Yeah.
a board. So I do want to see him go as well as possible. I just don't think it'll be enough because Hunter can remove 1 minion already.
Yes.
With the hero power, even without the extra spell. And then like after that, Shaman's like already dead.
Yeah,
But
you're
yeah,
right.
I do want to see
Mhm.
Lee go wet here.
Yeah. Got a Kindling Elemental, so realistically, like, this just doesn't end well for the Shaman at this point. The quest completion on 5 into playing reward on 6, it's very difficult for Shaman to beat unless Shaman gets off to a very, very good start. And realistically, the best, like, the earliest you can play Wildpaw Cavern is being turn 3. And that not happening is very tough break for Glee. While
Okay,
Molestar
this is
here,
sort of an interesting turn for Molstar.
mm-hmm.
He can choose to like go the Vaj Najjan and then cycle some Dragonbane shots in order to like
Yeah,
clear Shaman's board. I guess like if he goes Tavish and Hero Power, the Shaman has 5 power.
mm-hmm.
So like if there are some worlds where Molstar dies in that case, then he should always. I think he's in a safe enough position to avoid any like of those slim chances completely.
Yeah, so he's just gonna
Um,
cycle 3 Dragonbane shots in hero power with
yeah,
the other minion. I like this line, because especially in the cases of, I mean, I don't think bioluminescence on 4 minions would kill necessarily, but especially because
yeah. I mean,
in order to complete a full OTK, it takes a little bit more mana. But
Glee would have had 3 minions on the board, which would represent 5 power, and then
yeah,
bioluminescence gave +3 spell damage. So in the
mm-hmm.
case where he had like lightning bolt, and then coin geyser, it still
Oh,
would have been off.
gotcha.
But in that case, like if he did do that, then like
Mm-hmm.
Molstar would have had to kill Glee the next turn, or else there would have been much more
Yeah.
damage out. So I think Molstar was considering whether, in that case, he would be able to kill Glee the next turn,
Yeah.
and he decides that this would be the safer play.
Mm-hmm. And now we'll see the Tavish come down. Very likely.
Yeah. If it doesn't come out down here, then it shouldn't be in the deck.
Yeah. Especially because you can go for the hero power to remove, and then there's Dragonbane shot as well. Even though it won't kill anything, you can just commit it because you have Howl. You have a ton of draw here, so yeah, you just want to commit 4 damage here to face. You definitely that your Tavish is getting pretty much wind chilled until the game's over, but you're thinking if my opponent is just doing that, then I'm already winning the game. But I will note that the hand for Molstar is a little awkward, having 2 mark shots versus
Right.
having a bunch of 2 cost or 2 cost spells essentially. Oh, looks like we got a raid.
Yeah, marks are definitely not what you want here.
Yeah.
You really just want to dump stuff into the Ferocious Owl.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if he just spends the turn going with the double mark shot. You are like
Yeah.
sort of worried every turn that you give the Shaman that they like have some sort of OTK. But I think like now like past expansion burn Shaman, it was like much more reasonable for the Shaman to go like Zapper Bloom and actually kill you from hand.
Yes.
But like nowadays, Shaman really has to like stick a board and then like have that board stick, and then they can like do bioluminescence stuff.
Yeah.
It's really hard for them to like make a board and bioluminescence and kill you at the same time, especially without Bloom.
Yeah, the loss of Lightning Bloom really hurts this deck, and also the loss of like things like Serpent Shrine Portal, Lightning Bloom in particular, because you could just Lightning Bloom out Brucon. Like coin Lightning Bloom Brucon on 5 was a way that the Shaman could essentially like keep the matchup going.
This was an interesting play from Glee. He could have chose to go with the Radiance and gotten 6 armor from the frost spells. He declined that possibility to set up the caverns. But I don't really think I like that because you're always expecting the hunter to kill you, if not this turn, next turn.
Yeah.
And so the caverns is just like representing 1/3/4 in power, which already doesn't do anything. I'm like, at this point, it's very difficult for the shaman to win, but I think like that sort of magical out stems from like
I agree.
surviving more than 2 turns, which would have
Yeah.
been a reason to play the Radiance for the
so
armor.
I guess we're gonna see Spring the Trap here just to pull the
Does he even have secrets?
explosive
he
trap
has
from
an
his
explosive
deck.
trap. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And
But
he
this
should
is-
be almost certainly killing him next turn with the Raj and the 6 mana with his spells, which would leave him 6 hero powers. So as it stands, we know that Glee has to either draw his hero card somehow, which I don't think is possible, or like get some armor. But yeah, it does look like the game is gonna be over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Shaman was like, other than the Naga Mage, the other deck that was like very unfavored into Molster's lineup.
Yeah.
And like looking forward into its matchups from Molster's lineup. Go then the Mage to get to like the Control Warrior. But
Yeah, I think he realizes he's just dead. He does get the wind chill. Double wind chill. But he will
doesn't
be
burn a card.
he will
but
burn a
It
card.
won't matter.
Yeah, it won't matter. Wow,
He
really?
ends this game with 10 cards so that he says that he will start the next game with 10 cards.
Raj Najan should just effectively end the game because piercing shot does 5 damage to face, which means that that's game
Yeah, you
right
don't
there.
even need the Raj here.
No,
So much damage.
but it honorably kills.
True.
And that's all that matters. So Molstar taking a 2-1 lead over Glee.
Yeah, so it's going to be down to Molstar's Naga Control Warrior. And Glee's going to have to get through it with his Burnt Shaman and his Control Paladin. And so Glee's definitely got an uphill to climb here. Going into what I think is 2 unfavorables. But yeah, we'll see if he can do it.
So yeah, that game was as we saw, that game was infinitely faster than the first 2. So just a reminder, we're gonna be having a wild match coming up after Molstar versus Glee. That match will be Swag War TV versus Always Just in Time. So that'll be exciting, and we'll have another caster coming in for that as well. But here we go. Shaman versus Warrior. Let me quickly switch the screen. Here we go.
Yeah, and Glee starts with a very good opening curve. Which might be what he thinks is like his best chance against Warrior. Like maybe they don't have that early clear, and then you can just get there with like pressure and kill them by around turn 5, turn 6.
Yeah.
But we do see that Molster has an incredible hand here with the Buckler Shatter to stop any early aggression and like shield block the cycle. He even picks up the weapon, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah.
For that card draw.
And with the coin, he can just coin that out next turn. We're just gonna see an armor up.
Nature waits for no one but me.
Okay, so this is an interesting decision from Molstar. He can choose to coin weapon,
Mm-hmm.
or he can silence, or he can even just commit a clear. With the Rancor pickup, he has actually like everything he needs for this matchup, and
Yeah, for
so it
sure.
looks like it's going to be a coin weapon into Rancor curve.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like it's going to be very difficult for Glee knowing Molstar's hand.
For sure.
And okay, this is the reason to bring Control Warrior over Charge Warrior to stem that debate. Because like the Rancor is a big difference against Prince Shaman.
Yeah.
Um,
So likely to see swing into the 3/3, and then Rancor the rest. Just because
yeah,
you want to get the draw. For sure.
so much armor in most hands.
I know, there's so much
Honestly, too
armor.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes with the Rancor. He has plenty of clears left, so he doesn't really need to ration them out. And Glee still does not pick up his Wildfuck Havens, which is a big deal in this matchup as well. Getting those 3/4s, giving consistent pressure in the early game is really what Shaman needs to chip down the Warrior. So it looks like another very slow curve from Glee. Other than the 1-2-3, now that that's deleted, it looks slow. But
Yeah. And the thing is that in these matchups for the Shaman, the Snowfall Guardians mean nothing. Like,
right,
you don't, if you have a wide board, you don't really want to freeze your own board. Like, yeah, you can make one big minion, but I feel like you might just want to keep applying the pressure in another way. Instead of that. So like this might be the best Snowfall chance he might even get this entire game, which isn't even great. School Teacher is a pretty solid play here though. Let's see what
oh,
spell.
bioluminescence, that's huge.
Yeah, so bioluminescence coming off a noggling is very strong.
Wait, that's actually so huge. He has the Bolner. Okay, Glee is in this game now.
Yeah,
Without
he
this,
is.
he would probably not be in this game.
Yeah.
But he's gonna need like some multicaster stuff and like turbo through his deck.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, as you're saying, like these Snowflake Guardians are gonna be a huge detriment. He might have to like spend a couple turns just to get those out of hand, because like hand space is a big issue now.
Yeah.
I think like it has to be bioluminescence on this pick, right?
I agree.
Like you can go Boner and then the Naga with bioluminescence, and you get so much spell damage,
Yeah.
and that's like what you need against Warrior.
100%.
Yeah, he takes it.
Yep, he's just gonna commit a wind chill for draw because another wind chill gonna cycle, keep cycling, keep chipping away at the armor, even though he's gonna keep gaining it. But having the warrior
Honestly,
down
how
to
much damage is this already?
it's quite a lot. It's just a matter of how many other. He only really has this one Battlecry minion. Oh no, he has two. This is gonna be a decent chunk of damage. It's just how much mana does it cost?
Right.
That's the thing.
He
Is
can go
it's
already like
2-2-1.
Boner, Trog, and then the Naga. He would get him
Yeah.
6 spell damage, and so each damage
Yeah.
spell would be till 9.
Yeah.
Which
True.
isn't far off already.
No, you're right. And if the minions survive, then it's just lethal. But we're gonna see probably the buckle look like a buckler hover from Molestar. Buckler Shatter. Remove the whole board. Into a
Another
Claw.
thing to note with this matchup is that Glee has to have a balance between like dumping his hand to cycle and like play around things like Vulcan and Mutinous.
Yeah.
Because like if he dumps a Guardian, that's like one extra thing that could have protected his Noggling or Bolner, which he desperately needs from that Mutinous
Yeah.
/ Vulcan.
Definitely.
But without that, he might just be on the game plan of like Prey, Molstar bottoms those disruptive tools. And it looks like he's gonna commit one here.
Yeah. And off the top is guard the city. It's a school teacher from Molestar.
Zinjari. Anybody?
From the depths. Then another guard the city. Gonna choose from the depths and opt to go for it.
Pick me! Pick me!
Find some more removal, which honestly was not one I don't think he really wanted at this point.
Yeah.
Like, Shaman doesn't really make many voids from here,
Yeah.
and most really wants to find his Kaz and his stuff that actually wins the game.
Yeah. I think Glee is just trying to count
Okay, wait.
how much
Is
he
this...
has.
So it's Volner, Naga... Oh, you play Chalk first, and then Naga, and then you can... there's just not enough mana.
I don't.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like 8 spell damage, and then you have 2 damage spells. Oh, but you can play the Sleep Breaker. Okay, wait. So it'd be 6 spell damage, and then it'd be 10 spell damage.
Oh no. Okay, he's gonna. Okay, he realizes he's just gonna do where he needs 2 spells.
Wait, it was 10 spell damage, and you could play 2 damage spells, so it would have been 26. He was actually 2 off there.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Puffer Starfish is really, really nice here from Molestar. Makes it so his minions can attack Queen Ajara as well as playable. His spells notably cost a lot more. Besides his 0 mana Shield Shatter, which has from the depths discount to make it actually cost the regular amount.
Wait. Is this lethal? He had 26 last turn, he has 26 this turn.
Yeah, this should be lethal,
Oh no,
right?
it's not. Most of it's at above 26.
He's at 25.
Is he?
Yeah,
I can't
17 plus
count.
8.
27. Wait, so it's lethal. Okay. So it's very difficult to spot. It's Volner, Trog, and then Noggling. So
yeah.
that's 6 spell damage, and
He's
then you
definitely
play the
counting
Sleep
it.
Breaker, which copies the Noggling's Battle Cry and gives you plus 4 spell damage, then that's 10 spell damage. That'll cost 6 mana. So then you can play Frostbite and Lightning Bolt.
He's just gonna
And then
go
that'll be
for-
26.
Yeah, he'll freeze the board here. What he's gonna
I mean, at this point, like, I'm out of range. I think that was his opportunity. I'm not sure he'll get another one.
Yeah, I agree. At least he has 13 of worth of attack, but I feel like he can just get at least not the 10. The 10-9 is out of range of a of only Shield Shatter, but there's Shield Shatter plus very likely. Does he have a? He doesn't have a Shield Slam in hand, so Brawl. He'll just play Brawl. So now, if one of Glee's unfrozen minions survive, it's lethal.
Oh, his parrot survived.
Oh, the parrot survives. That's game. That has to be game. There's no way he can't. No, he can't Buckler Shadow.
Taunt.
Oh, he can taunt. You're right. But
He goes for the Buckler.
He goes for Buckler, which does allow him
Glee
to not
has to spot it this time.
Yeah,
okay,
he has to.
Even
And he
Lightning
picked
this is
up
a
the bolt.
mega damage.
He knows it. He has to know it now with the next thing coming in. He's gonna drop Bolner. He'll drop Trog, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, so you play Noggling, and then you play Sleepbreaker, which copies the Noggling battle cry. And then you have 10 spell damage, which makes your things do 13 damage. If I counted... Oh wait, the parrot changes the big points, but... Yeah. And that's gonna do it. Wow.
Yeah.
So Glee gets his second unfavorable deck out of the way against Mosa's Control Warrior. And interestingly enough, in both the games Glee missed lethal, he won them anyway. So missing lethal is a proven 100% win rate.
Yeah, but we will note that this lethal was indeed difficult to spot. It wasn't as
Right.
and I think the other one I could end up attributing to the fact that he didn't have time.
Definitely like 2 very difficult decks. So I won't.
Yeah. So yeah, but really well played on Glee's spot. Okay.
Right. So it's gonna be Glee's Control Paladin against the Control Warrior. And this is a very even matchup. So it could actually be in a series where Mosar was coming into it very favored. Looks like his control warrior is going to be letting him down a little bit. And now Glee has a very even matchup to take it.
Yeah. The deck that I have generally seen, like, maybe have issues is Control Paladin, but I don't really know much about this version of Kaz Warrior. I've played a different version of it on ladder on like day 1, but I really haven't touched it since. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we have Game 5.
Game 5.
Game 5's in the chat. Get your redeems in, and we'll walk you through it. We've got a early carry Rome pickup for Glee, while Molstar has a pretty decent opening. He has the Outrider's Axe, guard the city as well to just get some early minion presence with armor. All right, turn 2 we do draw Knight of Anointment. I think that the Knight is probably the best possible play here, because you don't really want to obviously commit a Pyro. He can also just commit Hero Power if he wants.
Yeah. So in this matchup, the Paladin first and foremost wants Carriel, and like you can't really win this matchup without Carriel. It's gonna be difficult still because you typically want to like have a Giga buffed Smite, but Molstar has the Vol'jin and the Mutinous to sort of disrupt that game plan.
Yeah.
So Glee goes for like the more tempo based approach, which plays around Molstar's disruptive tools, and he tempos the Smite to tempos the Pyro to maybe get a little bit of chip damage in.
But as we saw, Guard this City was played, and so Glee just traded off his 3/2. Pointing out the axe here, gonna get some draw. There's Mute.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an interesting top deck from Glee. Now he can choose to Holy Macule this turn and get his Queen juiced up for next turn, which would maybe like accelerate if he wants a Colossal.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure what you pick from Queen in this deck.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe he just wants like a copy spell to like copy Guardian's Grace on like a combo turn or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, unfortunately the Carriel just will deal 4 damage, but will not get to discount any of the spells in Glee's hand.
Yeah, and I'd imagine we see the Holy Macule played this turn to juice it up.
Right, let's see. We are going
I would have liked to start with the Knight. Oh, he wants to... Okay, this is a good play. He's making sure that Molstar can't get his last draw from his weapon yet, so he wants to have his board clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so Queen can give him a Colossal. It can give him like a draw 2, shuffle 5 random spells.
Yeah.
It can give him the copy spell, and then it can give him the Pyroblast. We can already rule out the Pyroblast because I think that's going to be very negligible.
Yeah, you also don't want to pick a weapon in a deck that plays Lightforged Carriel, so... Yeah, I think I like... I don't know, I like pretty much everything other than that. There's the Smite coming down already. We do know that there's Mutinous in Molstar's hand, so committing all these minions in would leave vulnerability to Smite, potentially. It lands on the Smite. 10-8. Mr. Smite in hand now already is pretty good. And probably just going to commit a hero power here because I don't know about playing an early the Guardian's Grace this early.
Yeah, he is debating that, it seems. Like, Guardian's Grace could represent some more tempo, and you can, in the best world scenario, you can push 6 face. Also, it does protect his 1/1 from like being killed by a weapon, so it would like prevent Molstar from drawing it. You'd really hate to play a Divine Shield, a big Divine Shield, when there's already a 1/1 on board. But it looks like he's gonna commit it.
Yeah. Alright, we see shield block. With the draw coming in being Frozen Buckler. This Nagaling knows
he's not going
shield
to shield
slam.
slam. That's a good one.
That is really good. Okay.
If you see Leviathan, he can't get the dredge and the draw.
Yes, you can only get one or the other.
It's like the common sense thing is to take the draw here, but like in a world where you like only want one card, which is Hero Carrier. Yeah, I was gonna say like
I think you
I'm not
dredge to
super
see if
opposed to
she's on the
taking the
bottom,
dredge.
right? Probably just grab the Garden's Grace here, I guess. Then maybe, yeah.
Yeah, because like the draw would have given you like one extra look at Carrier, whereas the dredge gives you like 3 extra looks at Carrier.
Yeah.
And like if you don't care about the rest of your deck, I mean like this sort of like play sort of telegraphs that like Glee thinks you need to Carrier like very soon to have a chance here.
Yeah.
Otherwise you take the draw and you like say that drawing thins my deck and I can draw Carrier over the next few turns and then I'll still be winning. But it's really gonna backfire for Glee here. And I think he probably just has to take the Queen of Shara for draw now, just to like have any chance of finding Carrier and actually progressing his game plan.
Yeah, I agree.
But like the 5 cards that get shuffled by Queen of Shara, like they normally like don't really help you that much. But at this point, I think Glee's trying to have some sort of like scam out because the normal game plan seems to be shut down.
No, he got an Ajarn Gardens from it randomly.
Yeah, which does not do much.
Nope. Plays Battle Vicar.
Invigorating Sermons is just a Shaman Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Vitality Search here.
Definitely, yeah. I think now, if you're Molstar, you probably want to commit the... You've seen Ajara and you've seen Leviathan. You just have to guess if your opponent has... He could go for the guess that his opponent doesn't have any other minions after he just essentially played 3 minions over the last turn. And could have maybe dropped the Mutinous. Obviously, with Caster Vision, we know it would have hit Smite. Which likely wins the game. Although there is equality.
I think at this point from Molstar... since he knows he's never gonna die in the near future, he wants to save his Mutinous for like when Glee's hand buffs come down.
Oh, gotcha.
He gets a really good Colossal. I guess like not so much with his hand being full already.
There's a Mr. Smite for
but
himself.
if Glee went for Colossal and he got the Warrior one, it would have been a big deal. That was something to think about when playing the Queen. But yeah, I mean, like, what's funny is that, like, I was saying, like, all series, how, like, I wish Molstar's Control Warrior was a Charge Warrior, and by getting Queen Ashara into Random Colossal into Nelly, he became a Charge Warrior.
You get a Smite,
so now he's gonna win. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, this is the problem with the Paladin. Like, we saw how, like, the Mage and the Shaman could OTK the Warrior since it went slow enough.
Yeah, the Shaman can't.
But, like, the Paladin takes a very long time.
Yeah, the Paladin just can't at this point. If there was Cariel in the last couple of turns, maybe. But it's going to take so much buff to hit 40 attack on a Smite. And likely more. And so eventually this Warrior's just going to be able to play Kazakazin, and from there it's just inevitability for Molstar.
Oh, is he coming to Vol'jin? which would pull the smite.
Yeah, he's gonna commit the Vol'jin, I think. Yeah, you could commit it into the 1/3 if you want. I think that'd be,
No, I think
or
you do 3/6.
you get rid of a 3/6 for sure. Yeah, you send the 3/6
Right.
back.
You don't want to give your opponent another holy spell.
That's true.
And the smite comes down.
It's
And
11-9
that could be
smite.
the last chance that Glee had to take this game.
Yeah, there isn't a direct way to remove the smite though.
Oh wait, really?
I don't think
I mean,
so,
that's kind
right?
of a risky play
Because
then,
the 3/6 because the 3/6
if you man the cannons to smite. No, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, there's no real direct way, but realistically, Mulsar has to have his minion essentially removed.
No, yeah. I mean, like, Mosa is, like, super healthy. Like, you needed Smite to be in hand, because then that's the only way to hit buffs.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
The board, this is, like, I'm pretty sure the biggest it can get outside of Guardian's Grace. And that's just not enough to threaten Mulstar.
And he could really make this Sunfish kind of large if he wants. With the Righteous Defense, you can, like, put it on something.
Honestly, I think that's a play, just to, like, Righteous Defense the 2/6, and then like make these trades, and then put a Guardian's Grace on the Smite, and draw off the Sunfish, and just pray that like there's literally no removal in Monster's hand.
Yeah, I can agree with that, and also pray that whatever comes out of the boat isn't like game winning. Yep, he did the exact line that you said.
Yeah, I just don't think this is going to be enough still, and
No,
I think
it's
Lee
not.
probably knows it.
Yeah. Although there is no more armor, there is no more.
Oh, there's a Starfish
bucklers.
in Monster's hand,
There is a
and
Starfish.
that should be a game.
Yeah, the Starfish will just pop the Smite back to a 6/5 with nothing, and everything else in his hand doesn't have any effects. So the Starfish should essentially give the juice that Molstar needs to win. He has a 1-mana Smite with Scoundrel that's it's very close to lethal. If he had gone with the Smite plus Scoundrel play, but now he can't obviously attack face.
Oh, it would have been like 15 damage off the charges.
Yeah,
and then
but
20,
it wasn't quite enough. So that's just fine. He'll hold it till next turn. School teacher comes in.
Ooh, from the depths is...
From the depths is
Oh,
good.
to the front, just become the charge warrior.
True. Yeah, but at this point, there is just nothing that...
Yeah.
That, well, okay, I shouldn't say there's nothing. There is some things that can be done, on Glee's side, but...
Yo, Dreaded Mount can't be killed.
Sure.
It gets there. You have to believe. It's basically
sure.
Ignite.
Sure, we'll go with that. I'm pretty sure that it's a Kazakhstan. Yeah, he's just gonna drop Kaz here.
Yeah.
The treasure hoard. Treasure hoard being picked.
Honestly, at this point,
Horn is really nuts into this. Yeah, Reflections. 1/2 of Keldar could have picked that. Boombots.
I'm pretty sure it's correct at this point to randomize your treasures, just to make sure you're not like using up your RNG on a game that doesn't matter anymore.
I guess. And probably.
More so doing his due diligence and picking the best ones. What a nerd.
Pick me!
From the depths, oh my god, he gets to pick which one he gets. A 5-mana horde, 1-mana ancient reflections, yeah. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Gonna take the Wax Rager. Mr. Smite comes down as well. Yeah, he's just gonna push all of this, and he knows that there's... He knows it's not lethal, but he knows that there's nothing that this Paladin can do.
The best he can do is top like a board clear, which he does.
He does, but
that is using his hand, and he does have nothing left.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he kind of has to, but it's not like he's gonna... Like, then we just see Rokar the Valorous, maybe. Like, there's a decent amount of things that can be done here.
No, yeah. I mean, I
Violent
don't blame
Warrior.
Glee for like playing this out just because
Yeah.
it's the game 5. You know, Mole
Yeah.
might mess up. He
Yeah.
might have randomized his treasures,
True.
like in But yeah,
The double wax rates are coming down, which are unremovable. Because I don't believe there's a starfish in Glee's deck. So yeah, I think.
oh, quick shot. Okay,
Hey,
infinite quick shot chain.
true.
Oh, do I have randoms? Oh, Cario.
Lightforge
He can
Cario
live
is
for a couple
nice.
more turns.
The first Cario's pretty okay.
Okay, wait. Are there any random Queen of Shara spells that can get Glee out of this? Like a top deck sprint
I guess.
into something? I'm like, there's
I mean,
probably like,
he's not gonna be
oh,
taking as much damage.
he can get the pre-spell. The pre-spell that like the whirlpool thing.
Oh, Whirlpool to remove the Ragers.
Yeah,
That's a horn.
this is a horn.
I believe there was an Embers of Ragnaros picked, so eventually we'll just be able to see Embers of Ragnaros pop some things.
I think he actually took the boombox or something instead of that,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting. But
Yeah, I don't know. The 1/1 lives.
let's go. Oh, that's a really nice play from
Okani is
Wall.
nuts, and now
He
oh,
tutored the minion
Mutanus to
and
kill
then
it. Oh my gosh.
right.
Yeah, very smart
That was a
by
really cool play
Molestar.
from
That
him.
was a really good play. Execute off the top though, kills the Mutanus. Hero powers nothing. And swings face. But yeah, I think very close to lethal. It'll be a couple more turns, but he'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, Control's biggest problem at this stage of the game is just that it takes so long to actually kill,
Yeah.
especially with Carriel played. But slow and steady
Yeah,
is the
for
game
sure.
plan.
For sure. He also has the hero. He'll have like hero power also to deal damage next turn. This is
Immortalize probably keeps him alive another turn.
yeah. It kind of does. Yeah, because wait, does it? Because don't you just hero power? Don't you just hero power the 4 attacker into his face?
Oh yeah. That's
and yeah, I mean he survives another turn, right? Because that doesn't deal. That only deals 2 damage.
Yeah, Shield Shatter ends it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can even boom bots. Yeah.
Bots shatter.
A lot of lethals here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Looks like he's gonna spot one.
Got spotted a lethal.
And so, wow, Glee was super close to pulling that back, starting from a very unfavorable set.
Mm-hmm.
Like, making that go down to game 5 is a very respectable feat.
Definitely.
But looks like
those were two 4. Those were 2 4 bots that went into the face, or a 3 and a 4.
Oh yeah. That's why he lost for sure.
Yeah, that
No
was. That was a really good set.
But yeah,
these
it looks
two
like
excellent players.
Molestar, his control warrior, looked like it might have let him down, but as soon as he turned it into a charge warrior, that was the difference maker. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if is there like gonna be an interview after this game, or are we gonna head straight to the next one?
I think I want to go right into. I think I'm gonna skip it because we have to go into wild right away.
Okay, yeah, fair. But I'm just like curious, like what Mo's reasoning was behind that warrior list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm sure he had his reasons.
Sure.
Anyway, but yeah.
Yes.
A very cool series nonetheless. And congratulations to Molestar. I do think his team is gonna take the win this week. Yeah, with Segoy beating F2L. Right, so they're off to a very nice start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, after this, it's gonna be a wild series, I believe, and we're gonna have Always Just in Time against
Swagwar.
Swagwar. Sorry. So yeah, should be coming up shortly. Stay tuned.
Yeah, for sure. And we're gonna have Hyperin joining me on commentary. Just pinged him so he knows. So yeah. So yeah, thank you, Shep, for commentating this one. I'm gonna quickly swap over into our wild match. Hello, Hyperin.
Hello.
Well, welcome. Gonna quickly get this set up for wild. So yeah, we have another great match coming in right here between Swagwar TV and um Always Just in Time. There we go. It's up on the screen. Swagwar TV of F2L Celadon. Always Just in Time of Bread Likely. And I guess this is interesting. It's the wild meta is kind of crazy right now. So I have case sorry for the pause. I guess if you want to, I can go ahead and I'll put the deck lists on the screen. I also have to send them in here very far behind. Flag and Justin. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the deck lists. If you wanna go through their lineups while I get this set up.
Yeah, sure.
I also have to check. I'll also check the bands.
Yep, I think Swag band, Pirate Rogue, Justin band, Druid.
Okay, yeah. Indeed, that is the bands.
Alright, but yeah, the lineups are right now.
The lamps are up on the screen.
Alright.
They're also in the Discord.
Oh, there.
Yep,
There we go. Alright, yeah. So yeah, from Justin's side, we've got the Pirate Rogue, just banned, been a very, very strong deck right now. Very fast. But then the decks you're actually gonna see, we have Even Warlock. It's like a pretty standard list here. No crazy tech. A lot of people are kind of going all out with the tech, but this is a pretty standard build. Do note the Sun Fury and Demonic kind of hedging a little more into the Pirate Rogue. But other than that, pretty standard. We've got looks like Quest Hunter running a few one-ofs here with just one flare, Urchin Spines, Raj Najan, card that's definitely seen a lot of play in standard. I think a little less good in wild just because the speed of the format is faster, but still not the worst inclusion. And then the druid here is there's kind of been like two main Kael'thas decks that we've had in the format, two main Kael'thas druid decks. One is just the OTK version with Barnes that just tries to kill you on turn 3. And then this version, which is much more like old Kazakhstan druid, but running Kael'thas along with some of the more expensive draw spells like Ultimate Infestation and Miracle Growth, just so that you can have those occasional pop off turns. Moving over to Swag's lineup, we have a very similar druid list here. Maybe the same list. I don't see if there's any difference on it, but it is the same deck. Looks about the same. But so yeah, that's the same. On the hunter, we have not a quest hunter, but a secret hunter. This is been a deck that's like been pretty solid, pretty underplayed for its power level for a while, I think. But with the current meta being mostly Kael'thas and Switcheroo, it's definitely gone up a lot. So this is a very, very strong deck at the moment. And we're gonna see also this priest, Switcheroo priest. You play your Switcheroo, get a 1 mana 20/20 charge. Pretty coin flippy is the main way people describe it. It's just do they draw their switcheroo in time, or do they draw a minion before that. And then this last deck here, I do want to point out, is I believe called Mine Rogue. So instead of bringing Pirate Rogue, as most people are, Swag has kind of gone all out here with he's well known for playing lots of off meta decks, and here's definitely one of them. I must say I'm not very familiar with how this deck plays. I've looked into it a little bit. It seems pretty. It seems like it's pretty similar to Pillager, Pillager Rogue, in that it just kind of sets up. But this sets up an OTK. But instead of using Shark, it uses Snowfall Graveyard, and then just using a combination of Nectar Blade, sketchy information, and just killing the mine itself, manages to do lots of damage because with the Snowfall Graveyard, each individual tick of the mine does 8 damage. Nectar Blade doubles, so that can definitely see that damage racking up very quickly. And then also notably, this deck has double evasion, double cloak of shadows, which is hedging again into that Kael'thas switcheroo meta that's been running rampant in the format. So.
Yeah, for sure. Luckily, that'll be, at least from my opinion, luckily that'll be changing a little bit.
Yeah,
next week, we do have nerfs incoming in a ban.
Yeah, I'm very glad about the changes. I'm a little bit sad about Switcheroo ban just because of Giant's Priest, but I think overall it's still a good idea.
Yeah,
I think Switcheroo is just a pretty unhealthy card, and there is that small concern that even just swapping health, it's still
okay,
playable, doing its dumb things with Divine Topsy.
Definitely, for sure. So yeah, I'm gonna switch us back to the caster screen, and I will get the bans up on there. I do now at least have everything up to date on the match screen. Just gonna pop your logo up here. So apologies to you for having Justin, for having this pick Shep was using.
No worries.
For a bit. Downloads. There you are. Our priest, Lord and Savior Zarella.
Of course.
Yep. All right. So I believe that Swagwar has gone ahead and stepped aside for some water, so we'll get underway once he is back. If you need either players' IDs, let me know.
I got them both.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right, so Justin's rogue is gone. Man, it seems like druid bans are everywhere in Hearthstone.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even in standard, if like druid is the ban, and in wild there is either target the decks, or ban at least one of them between Switcheroo and Kael'thas.
Yeah, they're definitely problematic. I'll be happy to see them go.
Yeah, for sure. I really like these Daggro Rogue decks that I've been seeing. Particularly, I think at least one of the decks was running Savory Deviant Delight. If I'm not mistaken, which is
the Mine Rogue has
the Mine Rogue has it. Yeah.
Delight,
Yeah, and that's I know that was a tech that Get Meowth was running on stream, and he also put it in a YouTube video.
Yeah, I think it's one of those like tech cards. It's like it's very funny and very satisfying when it actually works, but if you like check the stats on it,
it's not very good.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's the worst card in the deck by far, But the funniest part is it's not just the worst card in the deck; it's the worst card in the deck, even into just Druid. So the deck
That's
is
funny.
strong enough that like your chances of hitting them with a Deviant Delight are lower than your chances of just killing them normally.
For sure.
So,
All right, so I see a
but
Swag War returning. So we'll be able to get ourselves started here shortly.
great.
All right. Okay. So for those who are watching, Justin is going to be on the bottom of our screen, and Swagwar will be on the top. Also, thanks to all 4 players today for playing on webcam, providing content. Oh, yeah, so I
do also want to note on this is the last match of the week for these two teams, and
it is a decider.
It is a decider. Yeah, it's currently 11-10. So regardless of what the scoring is, whoever wins this will win the week for their team.
Yeah. What's fascinating is that Celadon is hit, like, despite having a sweep due to Itachi not submitting, the fact that that Celadon isn't completely out of it yet, with getting 2 wins, one from Ataraxial and one from Rubobson, really really shows the strength of the team to come back from a 4-0 deficit.
Yep.
All right, so I'm sure both players, I do see that they are both in preparing to battle, so we'll get them going here shortly.
Great.
Yep. Right. Let's see how they lead. What do you suspect will be leads?
I'm not really sure. I've always been or I've I guess more lately I've transitioned to believing in the wheel. I just randomize my queue order.
Gotcha.
I don't like the pressure of having to choose.
Yeah, that's perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
The exception will be if my opponent only has one deck. But I think statistically speaking, just like your chances of winning the match overall are the same, assuming it's a random queue order. Oh, but looks like we're gonna see a Hunter Mirror to start out, or not a mirror, but a Questline Hunter
Mirror.
versus Secret Hunter.
Yep.
So I'm actually not very familiar with Secret Hunter. I know it's very strong. It's had a lot of success, but I haven't played it much myself. So I'm not sure how its matchup into Quest Hunter goes. If I had to guess, it's probably pretty okay. You have quite a bit of good disruption, especially in, like Ice Trap.
Yeah.
But there is maybe the possibility that it just doesn't have enough board presence to really get under the Hunter.
Yeah. Double Hunter is there. All right, here we go. All right. Pretty good start hand for Justin with having Beyond the Hunt, Bomb Toss, and
Hello, Wanderer.
Yeah, I do like the early Dragonbane shot. I think all the most of the it's like a Driftfire picked up on Swagzen though. That's very key card to beating Quest Hunter, I think.
Swag with the flex, swag with the golden, with the diamond Drekthar. This man spent $25 on that card. I mean, it's a beautiful card. So if you really like it that much, I could definitely see buying it for sure.
It's pretty. I don't know if it's $25 worth.
Yeah, that was my thought process. Is it worth is it worth the $25?
I would say no, but
yeah,
I mean,
I would tend to agree. But Swag, I mean, it's everyone's personal choice with things of that matter. But he
Yep.
has his Drekthar there. It's definitely going to be a solid play next turn.
Yep, agreed.
We'll see two minions pulled out of deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Drekthar is one of the main reasons Secret Hunter's so strong. You have all your secret synergy, but just the fact that you can Drekthar for such a huge swing,
Yeah.
it's a very powerful card in both formats. But pulling
Yeah.
out Cloaked Huntress and just getting, I mean, he doesn't actually have secrets in hand right now, which is a little unfortunate. But even so, it's just a lot of stats.
Yeah. Or is
Actually
it
opting to
Master?
go for the Master's Call here.
Yeah.
I guess I can see that a little bit just with the lack of secrets in hand. He has drawn a very very top heavy draw here with both spellstones and Tavish. So without all the secrets to unload, the swing is a lot less powerful. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which I agree with that. And I mean, again, I'm not super familiar with it. Maybe he's trying to go for a little bit of a longer game. But I think the longer the game goes on, generally, Quest Hunter is a little more favored in
Yeah.
at least in other matchups. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
gonna see a tempo the Dragonbane here.
Yeah.
Which there is actually at the moment not a way that Swag can deal with it, so that can
Mm-hmm.
definitely rack up some damage.
Definitely. We will see Drekthar here, which will pull
Yep.
a Huntress.
Yep. Here it is. This time with a secret to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Ice Trap, like I mentioned, very very good in this matchup. I believe the
Yeah.
disruption.
Definitely.
The double howl
Hero
in
power
hand.
not costing 0. For Justin is it could end up being perhaps a bit of an issue. Because he's gonna
Yep.
play the Overwhelm here. It's gonna get ice trapped.
Yeah. Still be able to overwhelm Dragonbane shot the Gossiper for
Yeah,
follow
definitely.
kill, but it is a little awkward. He is forced to leave some minions on board. I guess unless he can ping the Cloaked Huntress, have the Dragonbane shot hit the Drekthar and then trade.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, as long as the shot hits a minion, he can trade either way.
Yeah.
But like he is opting to kill the other minion first, and the shot does hit the Drekthar, which is pretty good. We do have Spring the Trap here if Swag wants to clear the Dragonbane, but he's just opting to develop his board, which I think is fine. And no one drop spell off the top, meaning Justin can't complete his quest and play Tavish this turn, which delaying that by a turn can be pretty huge. Um, like, yeah, here I want to rip the tracking and just find some options there. I think my game is bugged. I can't see what he pulled off the tracking right now. Okay, well, I don't know what his options were, but I saw the rapid fire come from the deck, so
Yeah.
whatever they were, he chose rapid fire,
Yeah.
which will help nicely.
This will put Tavish in hand.
Yeah, Tavish in hand for next turn. Just see, it's unfortunately he just doesn't like the spell breakpoints are kind of awkward for clearing all the wolves.
Yeah.
Dragonbane's not going face. Debatable whether that's good or not. Could help to be
Yeah.
better to clear off some more minions off board, save your life, but also there's a potential just after this Tavish comes down, got a lot of gas with the ferocious or furious howls, excuse me.
Yeah.
So
But we do see there's another fully loaded Greater Emerald Spellstone in Swagwar's hand that he can go ahead and play
Yep.
for almost a full board of wolves, and this is, it's going to be a lot
This is
for
a
the
ton of
hunter to
pressure.
clear. I think at most Justin can clear 2 wolves.
It's just in hand. At the moment, Swag is one off lethal. If Justin wants to push for face,
Mm-hmm.
I obviously Justin doesn't know about the spring the trap in hand. But looking at Swag's list, the only burn or only burst damage he has is spring the trap and Redlings. So
Yeah.
oh, actually, excuse me. Spring the trap only goes minions, so no, he knows it's just Renlings, meaning he can only have at most 2 damage from hand.
Yeah.
So he knows he never dies.
Gonna commit the damage in the face. I mean, she loses Dragonbane shot because it doesn't honorable kill, which is because
Yeah,
it's super awkward against 3 health things.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks like a freezing trap.
Yep, that is, which is could be pretty massive. That's
Yeah.
7 damage. Justin's losing
Mm-hmm.
prevents him from clearing another minion. But I'm interested to see if he'll have the damage to go up. He has a lot of card draw in hand, but no actual damage. And, there is no ice trap up at the moment, which is notable.
Yeah.
But flare, you're getting very good value.
Yep.
Wound Prey picked up, very good. Always wanting cheap spells, especially with the Furious Howls.
Yeah, we're getting close to lethal potential with Furious Howl.
I think this may be lethal already.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I think it is. It's
lethal. It's lethal.
It's gig lethal, yeah.
Yeah. He just needed to play one more spell there, and then he attacks. Yep.
Well played.
There you go.
Yeah, Flare.
West Hunter
one
gets
of
there.
one of Flare coming in clutch there to boost the extra 7 damage.
Yep.
Game 1 going to Justin.
Definitely. So the hunter gets through. 1-0 start for always just in time. All right. I think a big takeaway from that matchup is just it just shows the power of Pavish and how much it can just reach back from what looks like a bad position and then just lethal you. Especially obviously the flare coming in huge to remove the freezing trap.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
so we have the even lock from Justin here.
Yep, even lock versus switcheroo. Which Swag does have the switcheroo in his opening hand. Justin going first, something you usually don't want as even lock. Let me check all the tech that Justin runs. Like he's opting to keep the showstopper. Dirty Rat picked up could be relevant. If can play the showstopper on 2 into Dirty Rat trade if he so chooses.
Yeah. Got
Pack Mule picked up. Spectator bug. Pretty
Bugs.
Yep, we're gonna see the showstopper played out here.
Yeah.
We might see a coin switcheroo here from Swag, unless he is worried about the dirty rat that Justin does in fact have. So,
Mhm.
but the longer he holds the switcheroo, the higher the odds that he naturally draws a minion, and majority of the time instantly loses the game. So,
Oh, he's gonna play the bugged pack mule, so we will be right back.
we're back. Uh, right, back. Looks as though Swag played a palm reading and found a pint-sized potion. No switcheroo being played, so Justin's still just going to hold onto the dirty rat and develop some more board. This does demand a shard on the combo turn, which Swag does have. Looks like this is just lethal. Yep, with the Vivid Nightmare and the shard of the Naru, will be enough damage.
Yeah. Click to spec flag. Okay, we're gonna get to see it. That's gross, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, that's wild right now.
Wild in a nutshell. I didn't even get to. I didn't even get to put up the fact that Justin has a point.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Justin making 3 taunts, and it just doesn't matter because shard's a very efficient card. It's I think
Yeah.
it's not like it doesn't do super dumb things on its own, but the just the utility of it is it's very flexible, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. And sorry to all the people who crafted the darkness only for Switcheroo to get banned.
Sorry to sorry to Remob having to craft it for 1
I
week.
wasn't gonna. I wasn't. I was specifically referring to that, yes, but I was gonna. I was trying to be way more subvert with it than you.
That's what you get for letting Marty submit your lineups.
Yeah, I mean, I figure like Switcheroo Priest is something you kind of have to do, unless you want to bring it with no druid and just force a priest ban. But yeah,
I mean,
we
hey, you
do
can
see the
always
even lock come back out again, and Swag
yep.
brings out aggro rogue.
Yep.
Or
not
Mine
aggro rogue.
Rogue.
This is
Mine
the
Rogue,
Mine
yeah.
Rogue. You do see a Nephron picked up. A Nephron, incredibly strong card in Even Lock. It's this is one of the main cards. A Nephron and Null, just boosting this archetype.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm very much a even lock enjoyer.
yeah, I'm really not sure how to, commentate on Swag's on Swag's hand. I can't really.
I don't. Yeah.
I guess we do have the shroud to tutor the mines.
Yeah.
But maybe you want to leave them in deck for the sketchy information.
True.
I guess notably there's no Snowfall graveyard picked up yet. Which I believe is essential. But
Yeah.
maybe we can see a tap Anethron from Justin's side.
Yep.
Finally develop some pressure. Yeah.
Yep.
This is what Even Lock wants to be doing. Play Anethron on turn 3.
One mine.
Fortunately, going first, so he can't play the null alongside it, but it's still an 8/6. You can't complain too much.
For sure.
Uh,
Oh, for once,
Right.
the pack mule didn't bug my screen, so that's good for me.
I do just kind of like the idea of playing out as much of a threatening board as possible here. Leave Swag's deck really doesn't have the answers to it. He can only stall out with evasion and a cloak of shadows. So
Yeah.
I kind of want to see the double null here.
I'm a big fan of null tap null here
I agree. Yeah,
from Justin.
Yeah, you can even that develops enough pressure to. Oh, it looks like he's going for the dirty right here. Could be relevant. You do know that Swag has a minion in hand because he just played Shroud. Killing a mine early without the snowfall up and all the other effects could be big. He's hitting Finley though, which the Null will trade into well.
Sure.
Second mine picked up. Still no snowfall graveyard though. So
Yeah.
all
So
these
we're.
mines are only doing 4 damage, which no weapon either.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, for sure. We could potentially see something like. So it looks like we're gonna see Forsaken Lieutenant. Maybe? We're gonna coin out Passage. Yeah, I was gonna say.
yeah,
I think
passage.
Secret Passage is definitely a good play here.
Looks like digging for
Finds the
something.
snowfall.
Snowfall graveyard is picked up. And it's well, you can
Savory Deviant Delight
How's
played.
it going?
kind of.
All right, he
I
gets.
forget how many cards he had in hand. I kind of might have looked or wanted to see a trade there instead of playing the delight. I think at this point it's only turn 5. Swag doesn't have the capability to get Battlemaster out, so I think trading for another card is probably more valuable. But
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
you know,
Yeah, on Justin's side, he's in a very good position here.
ooh, Okani is a huge pickup here.
Yeah.
I definitely want to slam that Okani down.
Yeah, and then you just got to decide what you wanna counter.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure what you counter here actually. I think uh again, I don't know how this deck plays. I think
I don't know if
he doesn't. I don't think he has much damage. Again, these sketchy informations are not gonna be doing anything because both mines are in hand.
yeah, so Swag's just in a
So
really awkward position with this deck right now.
yeah,
I think that this might just I think you do want to I feel like Okani's super good here, but I
I,
wouldn't
I,
blame him if he went for like a giant essentially.
I think yeah. I like Akani
Okani
a minion
counter
here.
minion, yeah, I
Yep.
don't mind it.
Yeah, I think that's what I like here because I
Yeah.
think uh you've seen the shroud. You know he has the minions. He's at 7 health, meaning evasion does not save him. It's only Cloak of Shadows.
Yeah.
Um, which he does not have either of in hand. You can go with the Gone fishing to dredge up for one of those, but
Mhm.
I don't. This is not just not going to be enough damage. I don't think. Oh, I forgot about the Necrium blade here.
You're on all the lists.
Oh,
I forgot how that worked.
yeah, he almost killed him.
That is a lot stronger than I thought it was.
Yeah, Swag actually almost killed there. That was very close.
Oh, yeah, I forgot sketchy information could hit weapons as well. That can be scary. Yeah.
Yeah, both players laughing in their player cams. You'll love to see it, honestly. Having some fun,
Uh-huh.
honestly.
Uh,
Yeah, so Swag got a win on his priest, and Justin got a win on his warlock. So now the only thing left for Justin to get a win with, I believe, is Kael'thas Druid,
yep. Kel'Thas
Dragon
Kel'Thas
Druid.
Kazakhstan druid here, so
Yeah,
he's got to get that through either Secret Hunter or the rogue we just saw, which I could very easily see it out armoring the rogue potentially.
yeah,
Though it does give him a lot more time, so maybe with more mana he can do a lot more damage in one turn. I'm
true.
really not sure how the damage breakpoints will lay out there.
Yeah,
Um, and the Secret Hunter, I think generally a lot better into the uh the OTK version of Kael'thas Druid because if you
yeah,
pressure plate the Kael'thas, you just kind of win on the spot. Um, but pressure plate is still very very strong into Oaken, which is one of the main things that Druid wants to be doing early. So um, still relevant. And just the general disruption
yeah.
can be probably hard for Druid to deal with.
Hmm.
No Drekthar in hand for Swag yet, but it does have the Master's Call if he wants to play that on 3, to Drek on 4.
Yeah.
I think I just want to see a pass from Justin here. I don't think it's worth using the Innervate this early just for Moonlit.
Mhm.
Aquatic form, you usually want to wait for a little bit later to get that'll actually draw cards.
Yeah.
You want the flexibility to be able to pull an Oaken Summons or a Guff or something.
Definitely.
I think I am fine just playing Moonlit here to dig for those cards. Basically, only 2 options here.
Yeah,
In Ferocious
Howl,
Howl or
Howl or
Kael'thas.
Kael'thas.
I think I want to take the Ferocious Howl here. Just cycle, gain a little bit of armor. I think Kael'thas is with this specific hand, Kael'thas is not looking too great.
Yeah,
If
agreed.
he had more cheap spells and a UI, it might be more appealing. But I like the Ferocious Howl here.
Yeah.
Freezing Trap played here. Swag just using up his mana. Ferocious Howl, cycle through, gain a little bit of armor. Seems pretty good. Next turn, with nothing else, I could see. It actually doesn't run branching paths. Wow. Druid cards getting so good we don't actually run branching paths. That's insane.
Crazy.
That's insane.
I
can actually
remember Solar branching pass for 24 armor. How about you?
Yeah, that's a fun combo.
It's a funny combo.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're likely to see Master's Call here, which will pick up Drekthar.
Yep, Drekthar.
Slavar.
Do have the seeds here for Justin in response to that, unless potentially Swag picks up an Ice Trap next turn.
Mhm.
But Drekthar is just strong regardless. So
Yeah.
So
I think
I do want to aquatic form this turn. I think he's just debating whether he wants to gain some mana before then to give himself more options.
Mhm.
As is, we could see if he pulls Twig, he has the sphere gain 10 mana immediately. If he innervates first or bios first, which I don't particularly like bio here. I don't want to give the hunter more mana this early.
Yeah.
It looks like he's opting for that anyways. Guff, that's the main card you were looking to be able to pick up with ramping first.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot more worth it now. We can also innervate now for free mana for the rest of the game, unless he wants to keep it with the Kael'thas, but nope, he's just gonna gain his mana. Yeah. Suddenly he has 9 mana next turn. Playing out the sphere as well.
Yeah.
At this point, you have so much more mana that Twig is not as relevant as potentially digging for
Yeah.
some better cards here.
Mhm.
Are gonna see the Drekthar come out. But notably no Ice Trap here, so the seeds can answer this
Yeah.
pretty cleanly. There is a Tavish in hand as well, which can provide some pretty good value as the game goes on.
Mhm.
But having Guff this early, very strong for the Druid. Miracle Growth, great pickup here. Justin being very, very low on cards, having to, very small room for decisions, but with the Miracle Growth picked up,
Yeah.
that's that could definitely be game winning. Scale of Onyxia as well. Poison Seed's coming out. Already tested for Ice Trap, so he knows it'll go off. And yeah, this is. Yep, seeing the Tavish come out. Forget what all secrets are in the pool for Tavish now.
Improved
Like
Ice
he's
Trap.
taking improved Ice Trap, and none of these are particularly great. I can see. Yep, emergency removers maneuvers seems fine here. Actually get more chip damage in with the 2/2s.
Yeah.
Maybe you're hoping a more threatening minion dies later off the hero
Uh,
power, but either
uh-huh.
way.
Yeah. This Moonlit can be. I mean, technically, we could try and do stuff with Kael'thas if we want to.
Yeah. Moonlit will proc the ice trap here.
Yes.
Count mana. It looks like if he does, he can. I believe the counterspell means it doesn't get tracked for Kael'thas, so we could have seen Moonlit, Bloom, Kael'thas, and then pop off, but
Gotcha.
I think playing up the Miracle Growth here is also just as fine.
Mm-hmm.
Make a big taunt, draw some more cards.
Yeah. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it's a little awkward for getting Spring the Trap to trigger twice, but with trading a minion, if he wants to use both traps, but I don't think that's going to be super necessary. I think,
It's a very awkward spot for swag here.
yeah, it is. Never Huffer.
Fortunate.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, Misha's probably the worst role here.
Yeah, I
Just a
think
little bit
so.
too slow.
Yeah, even Leok allows it to be 2 minions to trade, like with a Spring the Trap potential.
I agree. Yep.
But the full
Cloak
Christmas
Hunter's
tree is
coming
up.
out. Yep. Got all these secrets. No ice traps though.
Tokens
But
picked up.
very strong. Bloom first test. Cat trick proct. I'm expecting to see a Kael'thas turn here potentially. But we do. I believe he does have the pressure plate up.
Yeah.
But if he chooses to actually, yeah, Kael'thas here is actually a little awkward with the pressure plate. We can't just Oaken. Have some more targets for that.
If you Okins first, it'll trigger and kill this, and then you can play Kael'thas here.
Yep.
With
Yep. And now we've got the UI.
you didn't go face with the UI.
I think that's fine. I think at this point, just removing off Swag's threats is fine. You know, maneuvers going off. As we mentioned earlier, getting more value.
More niche.
But looks like we're gonna see
A scale just to remove the 2 minions.
scale. I think this is fine. Develop a threat here. Proc the freezing. Just cleaning up all the secrets is nice here.
Mm-hmm.
I believe both Gospers are down, so you're not worried about that. But I mean, 59 health here. This is definitely a very difficult position for Swag here. Justin's churned through his deck. I'm not sure if he has any minions left. I think he may have a Marauder left in deck, so the Kazakhstan is still not active.
Yeah, but, just Marauder, which we know is at the bottom of his deck.
Yep. You did see from the aquatic form earlier.
There's aquatic form. He could actually just pull it now.
Yep. Check the secrets. Pressure plate, ice trap. Ice trap will block that, but we can still Kazakhstan if we so choose.
That picks Okins. Which means he's unable to actually... He's unable to remove everything, but I mean, there's just not a lot of damage.
Yeah, we can just play the Whelp from hand as well for to clear off either 5/2.
Yeah.
Scale coming in. This is with the flute. This is
Armor
like
gained
unlimited
from
mana.
flip we get to play Kazakhstan, yeah. Yeah.
Comes the Kazakhstan.
I don't like having Kazakhstan with 15 seconds, but it doesn't matter because he can rope out his picks. Horn, Wand, Pure Cold, Knopic Jars, Boombot's all picked.
Yep, seems fine. It's
that's really good.
No, I don't think there are any burn spells in there, but or there is Pure Cold, but even so, you're just so far ahead at this point on board, and the Vitavis hero power is pretty strong, but 15 mana. Annoyal Horn, Pure Cold, Boombot, Gothic. one disintegrations.
and eventually Swag's just gonna run out of secrets, and his deck's
Honestly,
just gonna end up
yeah.
being useless.
Honestly, all of these treasures are pretty good for Justin here.
They're all very
It's
good.
either
Yeah.
it's either developing his board or just outright clearing Swag. So
I feel like I
uh,
might have taken the boombox there.
yeah, I think he is looking for a a Wander Disintegration here, just because
Gotcha.
that wins off. But the scale Canopic synergy here is pretty insane.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, so maybe knock it off for Canopic Jars right here. Could just draw with like Miracle Grow if he wants. No, there you go. Canopic Jars coming in here.
I kind of just want to see the Canopic. I think you make enough threats and you have 60 health here. It's there's no hope for Swag to kill you in a
Yeah.
reasonable time.
He doesn't get to clear. He gets to clear all the minions and make a bunch of decently strong. Like,
Ooh,
Alec here is huge.
Alec here lets him clear very nicely here.
Yeah. Jervala. This is wild.
Oh.
Look at the Eodric the Pure Cho'Gall. Like, this
Activating
is
the
crazy.
explosive, but this is a very insane board here.
Yeah, this is just game over. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Like, yeah, Swag knows. Unfortunately, he has nothing to deal with that. So Justin getting his Druid through, and hey,
that's a 3-1 victory.
that's
I
a
believe
3-1 victory, and Bread likely takes the first week of Wild in their Wild match. So I guess we're starting to see what would happen if the best standard players come over to Wild.
Tread lightly.
Yeah,
or bread likely.
Bread
if you will.
likely.
Yeah, definitely a good series. I was very curious to see how that rogue would play out, and it didn't get the win, but still that did a lot more damage than I was expecting it to. But I think well played by both sides.
For sure. So I'm gonna get Justin in here for our interview. Yeah, I should have. I do have OBS Ninja Player. Oh, but it's on the wrong spot because Swag already left. All right, hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Going well.
Congratulations.
Thanks. I messaged this in the chat to Swagger right now, but obviously I'd never played any of these decks before, so I scrimmed a little bit. Actually, a decent amount. This week after list got released, and holy crap, that rogue is like a hard counter to my warlock. I swear I must have played that like a dozen times, and the warlock did not win once. He just kills like turn 5 like 40% of the time, and when it doesn't kill turn 5, surely it kills by turn 6 or turn 7, and you just have infinite stall with like 4x ice block basically.
Yeah.
I had no idea how the rogue was going to play out.
Oh yeah, I think the deck's nutty. Like I looked at it when it got submitted, like holy crap, that's a pile, and then played it in testing, and it just doesn't lose. I don't know. Like I'm sure it loses to aggro, but like not against decks that don't play threats till like turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, his hand was very clunky. He because of the shroud, he drew a bunch of he had drawn a lot. He had already drawn like his mines pretty early on. And he didn't get the sketchy.
To draw mines.
Yeah.
He did get sketchy.
Yeah,
did everything but the backstab to do the full 32 on turn 5 to spite the Okani. I guess he didn't have cloak because I thought my Okani was going to be in vain, that he was just going to like delay a turn. I was lucky enough to get the early, on the play, draw the pack mule turn 2 to be able to get the Anethron down on turn 3. Literally only chance to pressure early to get him to 7 so that evasion didn't work and it had to be cloaked. I guess he didn't have that. And he also didn't have the graveyard initially.
Yes. He got it off of.
Given that he 2-kept, I thought he would have had that, but he had to passage for it, which meant he couldn't passage for cloak. So I guess I'm inferring that he just had like he didn't have either half of the hand he needed.
Yes.
Yeah, his hand was pretty clunk. He had a lot of 2-ofs in his hand. So,
Yeah.
but
Like that's how the matchup needed to feel, for me to draw my cards in the exact order that I choose, and for him to have a clunky draw in order to barely win.
Yeah.
By those slimmest of margins.
yeah, that deck surprised me. I've never seen it before. It didn't look great to me, but I mean the graveyard and Necron Blade synergy pretty insane. Just basically 4 times the
Yeah,
the death
I did
rattle.
not know that was how it worked until
It's
I tried it out.
it's a lot
The
of
double
damage.
doubling is pretty crazy. Like, it can even be druids sometimes. So if they don't have an early Kael'thas or really like broken summons, like it can. It doesn't always kill the druid, because they generally gain some armor through like Howl or something, depending on what list they're running. But like you can just do 32 one turn and then follow up with like another 8 or 10 next turn, or what? Well, 8,
Yeah.
not 10.
Yeah.
Basically number, but that was like super dope deck. Like, disappointing from his perspective not be able to showcase it, but I guess good for mine.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't know what's you guys are the wild players. What's that hunter supposed to do? I could not lose to it in testing. And
Oh, I don't know.
today
It's
either.
I think it's a good deck that I think is underplayed, because I think it doesn't feel like as good as it actually is. I think the disruption tools just can go really far in some matchups. I think, like, I mean, obviously Drekthar is a powerhouse. He drew a lot of his top end. Spraying the Trap. I don't think Spraying the Trap is great in the deck. But Drekthar pulling Gossipert and Contrast is just an insane swing in a lot of matchups. So
I guess.
I think
mean,
it's very similar to Even Hunter, just in that you're trying to kill the opponent with a lot of secrets. But I think this deck is a little bit slower, but a little more like it doesn't lose as hard as Even Hunter does to other aggro decks. I think it's definitely getting boosted a lot by the Kael'thas OTK version. I think that's mainly what Swag was looking to target here with his lineup.
yeah,
Which
perhaps. Right? I see Freezing Trap. Like, I imagine that's pretty good against Spore Priest as well.
oh yeah, for sure.
They don't have enough Vivid Nightmares and to kill you anyways.
Yeah, Predator Plate.
That game was funny. I had like about as good of a hand as you can have given my Warlock list, which is not, like, I guess it's kind of tech for Priest, but not really. I'm not going full Demonic Project or anything.
Yeah.
But it has like a decent number of taunts as Showstopper and Dirty Rat. It just doesn't matter. Just dead turn 4. Okay.
Shard is like, I cannot stand that card. It just
He played it well. He didn't play the switcheroo until he was killing. I'm like, doesn't matter.
played it on the rat as well. Well done. But
yeah, no, I mean, the Hunter even had Drekthar on curve, or I guess not curve, because he had to fish for it with Master's Call, so it was on turn 4, not turn 3 on coin. But it had Drekthar early, it just didn't matter. It wasn't close. Certainly me high-rolling the Guff. Oh yeah, I haven't played that deck enough. What the heck were you supposed to do for my position turn 4? I have no clue. I mean, I hit the Uber Nuts high roll, which probably won me the game.
I did like I think I may have innervated first just for the Guff. I was actually surprised to see no branching, but I guess it kind of makes more sense with the Kael'thas package with a UI and Miracle Growth.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously did not develop this deck myself. I just copied the 30.
You probably did well.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. I went with the when I refuse to morally craft the Darkness or Barnes Gambit, and it looks like Blizzard bailed me out, but I won't have to.
Poor Rebob.
Yeah,
Rebob
no,
crafted it.
Yeah, because Vate first versus Bioproject first. I mean, Bioproject seemed cool because I knew he was going to Drexler next turn, and he was been to 6 mana on coin. So I guess the punish for the play I chose would be that if you could have coined out a petting zoo in addition to dumping a bunch of secrets, made a big board that way. But I felt like it was worth it to get more mana to make my cards more useful. I'm really not sure. I mean, the other line, of course, I could have thrown the Bloom as well to try to fish for a 7. Try to get the big taunt down on board before the stats come down. Because the Hunter doesn't really have removal, so at least when I was playing the matchup, it just felt like if you got your stats down first and taunted, especially as even lock, you can just sit there and not play spells and not attack, and they have to trade into you, and you're not really progressing their game plan while you are. But I'm really These decks are hard. I'm really not sure how you're supposed to play them. Even playing the Sphere of Sapience, like I guess that was pretty clear there because I had the Guff already, and Twig was nowhere in sight. But just all the choices off Sphere are so tough too. I don't know. And fortunately, I was far enough ahead that despite like playing maybe a third of the cards that there's potential for on my Kael'thas turn, it did not matter. But
Yeah, I think once the Guff came out, it just kind of spiraled really quickly to the
Yes.
point where it just couldn't really keep up.
I was just doing. He was
Like-
he played whatever Spellstone on turn 5, and by my turn 5, I was putting out many more stats than a
Yeah.
fully upgraded Spellstone. Go
Yeah.
back to 2018, Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah, the miracle growth pickup as well, just refilling your hand. It's pretty insane there.
Yeah. Certainly a lot of hits there, but that was probably the best to pull off stealth
Definitely.
moment, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, weird set. Do you guys have any more thoughts?
Not really, no. Unless,
Oh yeah,
you have
game
some-
1 was super weird as well. I had no idea how much to go face. I also relearned. I learned and then forgot that rapid fire was not strictly a mana cost nerf. I definitely was thinking I would set up some honorable kills by doing 2 mana.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. I had
Uh-huh.
Furious Hell in hand. I don't need honorable kills.
Yeah. Yeah, the post damage or the post like Tavish damage in Wild is just insane. It's so many cheap spells that like your gas is just
Yeah.
you just die.
Yeah, like there were a few turns where I had to decide between like going face versus hitting minions. I ended up hitting minions on all of them because it was like decently likely I would get lethal, but hitting minions seemed like the clearer line to me because he only has like 4 board flood spells, and if I whiffed, then I would be sad.
Yeah.
Certainly picking up the flare made the game a lot easier.
Yeah.
But the one of flare, you just throw it when you need it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I do think like
no
knowing that his deck really doesn't have burst, it just allows you to like I mean he has Rillings and that's like his only from hand damage, so
like the deck I played the Tavish, I was at 24 and he had 6 3-attack wolves on board, so I could have just gone all face, set him to 12, and then had flare plus Furious Howl next turn and like probably gotten there. But it just seemed more consistent me to clear. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking of. I'm not sure. I was like concerned about like, what if you like double petting zoos or something? They had so few cards in hand, it didn't seem likely. I don't know. But
it was a fun series.
Yeah, it was fun.
Is what's Druid gonna look like with Kael'thas gone? Are you just gonna go back to playing Kaz? I will not. I'm not disappointed that I'll not have the opportunity to mess up any more Kael'thas Floop's Glorious Gloops scales and
I
think
50 mana turns.
I think it might just go back to Linecracker, honestly.
Okay.
I think with the Kazakhstan nerf as well, like I think it's just gonna be
Yeah, it's probably gonna go back to Cracker. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So like Line Cracker or maybe Celestial, maybe like some CA Druid. CA is typically too slow though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I have had like decent success with Mechathune Druid in the past, just because it has like similar matchups, but it wins the mirror so hard. But at the moment the format's just too fast. So I'm really not sure. I think the main thing is like you just want to be able to beat rogues. I think rogue is just going to be an absolute powerhouse in the expansion.
Agreed.
Post nerfs, but we'll see.
Like the Molstar was trying to counter like aggro with his lineup, and his opponent this week, Rebob submits Rogue, and you're like, "Yo, sick aggro," and then when we test the matchups, it's just not good. Like the Rogue still wins.
I spent like 6 hours total like testing matchups against the Rogue. It was so hard to find counters for that Rogue.
We're playing. I mean, his list of warrior was like the one tech for priest and druid, so you could probably make a better list of it. But like you're playing control warrior against a straight like face aggro deck, and it felt Rogue favored. The Rogue would just outvalue the warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't let Rice lie to you.
Rice's Copium Warrior. Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
It is inflated by Switcheroo and Druid. As soon as those decks are gone, Warriors just it's dead.
It seems like the
Yeah.
ultimate gimmick
Especially, like, I don't know, maybe one more step added to the Pirate Warrior quest might harm it enough. It'll probably still be playable.
I think Warriors in a pretty bad spot.
Yeah.
It's just very slow against everything now. Which is
Gotcha.
kind of insane. It just has too many
It
hard
seems like
losing
Pirate
matchups.
Rogue, but worse. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, it's like
why are you passing turn 1 in an aggro deck when you could just not?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm-
sure,
yeah,
I think with the next nerf to the quest, we might cut it. It's still good to pick up Ankar every game, but I think just passing turn 1, you can't afford to do that anymore.
Yeah.
What if we just
I
like?
mean
draw the
that's
swords
when
sometimes?
like you can consider running cash as a tech if you really want it, but
I
yeah,
don't think you really want it.
you don't really
It
want
just seems
it.
like worse rogue and like.
Yeah, I think that is basically it. Rogue is just such an insane powerhouse. I will be surprised if Swordfish makes it till next rotation untouched.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
very strong card.
keeping all my swordfishes for the nerf.
Yeah.
It'll come eventually.
We'll see.
Copion. The problem is that Pirate Rogue isn't that big of a menace in standard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's gonna get a lot better post nerfs though.
Yeah, I
It's a
can
deck
see
that
that.
I was playing a decent amount of. I also think Donkey's list of it, if you saw, is like a lot better and will
I
improve
haven't
the
seen
deck's
it.
win rate by like 2%.
Cool.
Oh, because so like Pirate Rogue and Standard is kind of like the prep vessel deck. It's kind of like Bloom Caverns and Shaman.
Yeah.
You just like cheat out stats early. It's
Yeah.
like insane enough that you single keep prep on the coin.
Yeah.
In the deck is pirates, and it's the correct move a lot of the time. So Donkey's like, yo, what if we add sketchy information and Korak? So we have something else to reward keeping prep. And there's low sample size on it, but it seems like really insane, both win rate and
Wow.
like win rate statistics with the
interesting,
new
yeah.
conditions. And like subjectively, when I've seen it, it just seems makes so much sense and seems very strong.
Yeah.
I mean, the meta may change post nerf for standard, but at least right now, there's not a lot of decks that could cleanly kill Korak. There are some, but there's a significant amount of meta that has trouble dealing
Definitely.
So.
Yeah.
with
Well, thank you so much for playing on stream. Thank you to Swagwar as well. And from our first match, thank you to Molestar. And thank you to Glee for playing on stream. So this is going to do it for Salty Saturday. I believe we should have some matches tomorrow afternoon. Or sorry, tomorrow evening on Sunday Showdown. Let me check what Saku's got in the Discord. He has, starting at 8 p.m., he has Bone Masher versus S_Slayer from in Hero Series. So that is F2L Obsidian versus 8 p.m. And then Legacy Series, we have Ghost versus German Shep, HSA versus Season 21 Legacy. Yeah, Season 21 THL Legacy team or whatever, Legacy Series team, Chickens team. And then Hero Series, R-Hat versus Starlax, F2L Black versus Dad Legend at 10. So there you go. Matches tomorrow night. Be there for it. That'll be really great matches. And yeah. Thank you, Hyperin, for casting with me in Wild, and thank you to German Shep for casting Pro with me.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Congrats again, Justin, on your win. Securing the week win for your team as well.
Securing the bread.
Yes.
Bread likely. So I say.
There you go. All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.
Okay.